With Phil stumbling drunkenly out of his bed, appearing in his head all the things he's wanting to be said. 19 minutes are filled to fill, with so much time to kill. He promised chill, but all he does instead is beg and shill. Streams online and straight away begins to whine, but all is fine as long as Shad's benign and doesn't step out of line. His content's immature for all to endure like fresh manure, but I feel sure he ran straight to feeling so insecure. The money he earned from yesterday was withdrawn and long gone, as Phil spending impulse is always set to stay on. If supports are also slow, his taste are low and fails to grow, you never know, the show may turn into an easy bingo. Once ticked off across the board with charge to what, because his code can be ignored, just how much DSP makes us feel so bored. To help us fight or sleep and try to keep alert to watch a creep who play bingo, but Phil will bitch and why his sheep are also cheap. While DSP is chasing green, we're seeing green across the screen as Phil's routine predictability rivals are slow machine. It's not in burp and leaning ban, it matters not if factory fun, his child can't see it powers making feel less of a man. Takes a drink and starts his like before lunching into a big pretending there for bills when truth is there to buy a wrestling JPEG. Talks about his shitty life of college cat and fatty wife and all his strife while forgetting that it's done well and they were rife. With drama he will react but isn't act, that is a fact as he rehearsed to be exact in how he felt he was attacked. Teacher's nearly over it and a win is in sight, with what to white despite Phil to light that tips were not white. We'll say alright it is okay and now it's time for Phil to play, but first he'll say that tips will help from being off the other day. And with those words we win again, it's never if but always when the game is won. Thanks to that we made it to the very end. Hey guys, King Jad here. Happy Tuesday to everyone around the bloody world. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, whatever you end up doing, whether you had to work or, you know, education of sorts, whether school or college or whatever the fuck you were doing, you know, I hope you enjoyed your fucking Tuesday. But yeah, we're back for some DSP Bingo. We got a wee bit earlier than usual. Yeah, I went and used a different website for a wheel to pick something, and I decided to throw Phil's face in the middle of it because, yeah, this is a bit haunted. Yeah, that image. I didn't think it would actually stretch the image, you know, above and below it, but there you go. There's a demented face of DSP, you know, to help us pick our bingo image. Is that a Phil pill? Says VLX. Cursed. Yeah, it's a very cursed image. I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that front. But yeah, we've got everything in the list here. I've got 107 different entries, 107 different possible things, and from the 107, only 24 of these are going to appear in the bingo card, as well as the middle square of Snort, you know, to complete the 25. So this is how we're going to pick our bingo card today. Yeah. Yeah, that's just... yeah, this is... I just picked the most demented image I could think of to put in the middle of us, and here we go. So if we're all ready, let's spin the wheel. I've not actually spun this wheel yet. I wonder if he's going to go really fast as well. Oh, it does. It even makes a sound effect. Well, look at that, you know, see it's got its own bloody sound effects and everything. Look at that. Yeah, this is, so our winner for the wheel is Unique. So, fucking hooray for that. We are stuck on Unique. Unique is the word we're going to use for the bingo stuff. Fucking glorious. Right, but by the way, I gave it a good shuffle beforehand. This had a really good shuffle beforehand. You can press shuffle and just fucking go through it all. And then I click spin. So I already had a hell of a good shuffle, in case anyone was wondering. But yeah, that's the first time I actually spun it, and yeah, it looks quite definitely unique. I cannot lie, that was a unique spin. So I'm going to need a number between 1 and 210. The first number I see in chat with a number is the number I picked for the bingo card. Kirby Souls was in there straight away with number 5. So Kirby Souls beat everyone to the punch and said a number 5 for the bingo card. Quite a low number, but it helps me get to it quicker, I guess. Profit? No. Bad profit. Down. So the 5th bingo card is this one here on the... hang on, which one is it? Is it this one or... It's this one on the left hand side. Okay, it's this left hand side one. Okay, just want to be sure about that. Okay, the left hand side bingo card is the card we are going to be using for today's bingo, ladies and gentlemen. We have got Example, Unique, Would Be Great, Day Off, and the hand graphs. Then him touching his face, him doing a years ago story, him saying people saying, defence mode, and behind the scenes. Him drinking, him sighing, him snorting, him bumping the microphone, and him mocking his chat. Him saying meaningful, him saying you guys, nobody / no one, there you go, and time. And finally, we've got a new addition here, absolutely positively, which he apparently says quite a bit, and Pig Go tends to agree with that. He does actually say it surprisingly more than you would expect him to say absolutely positively. Family talk, Twitter, the stash scratch, and hateful slurs. In fact, we can actually do absolutely positively, just so you guys can see yourself. If I just type in podcast only, look at the amount of times Phil says absolutely positively this month here. The 28th of August, the 26th of August, the 25th, the 20th, the 18th, the 16th, the 7th, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st. He has said it all those times in August. So it's an interesting addition, and I think it's a worthwhile addition. It doesn't say it every single fucking day, but he has actually said it a surprising amount. And who was it suggested that again? I'm trying to remember who suggested that. Was it Pixar? No, he suggested tired. He suggested tired. Somebody else. Shit, who was it suggested absolutely positively? I can't remember who suggested it, man. That's annoying me actually. I can't remember who suggested it. It might have been somebody in the on chat right before I started the stream for a couple of days ago. I can't remember. I hate it when I can fucking remember what Phil done. It might have been DJ Dono. Actually, DJ Dono was a good shout. It may have been him. Yeah. I can remember what fucking Phil did when it was day off, something 4 years ago. Sometimes I can remember the most obscure shit about DSP, and yeah, I can't remember what somebody who fucking said something a week ago, or less than a week ago. For fuck's sake, the brain's a fucking weird thing. It's a weird fucking thing. Oh, by the way, guys, Kiwi Farms is back. Kiwi Farms is back again. You can't register apparently, but the forums are back up in case people wanted our fix of Phil the tractor stuff. DJ Dono, we're just trying to establish who it was that was responsible for suggesting absolutely positively, and Wetwork said he thinks it was you. If it was you, thank you, DJ Dono, for that. If it wasn't you, just say it was anyway and take credit for it, because I don't know who it was. So thank you, DJ Dono, even if you did it or not. Thank you for that suggestion, because it's one of the latest additions to the bingo card, and oh well, we're going to close that wheel now. Yeah. But it's a very strong card. I like the look at this card. I'm going to save the card very quickly before I forget. I was going to go for that Kiwi Farms topic, but I want to save the bingo card first, just in case I forget to. Because I am a very forgetful motherfucker sometimes, as I demonstrated already on the stream. For forgetting who fucking suggested this in the first place, absolutely positively. Hey Cabane, how you doing? Well, DJ, all I'm saying is it's on the card. You can see it on the card. I was just trying to credit whoever suggested it, because I think it's a good addition to the bingo card. And I knew somebody suggested it to me recently. I just couldn't remember who. So I was like, who do I credit? And I was kind of annoyed by myself because I couldn't remember who it was I should thank. So yeah, DJ Dono did suggest absolutely positively. So that is the latest addition to the bingo card. Phil said it a dozen times at least this month already, as we enter the last days of August. So it's surprising how often he's saying it lately. Hopefully I'll say it again today. But let me very quickly save this bingo card so I don't lose it, because I do fucking suck sometimes with saving things. There we go, the bingo card is saved. It's not going to vanish. Right. But yeah, Kiwi Farms is back. And somebody made Koshadil made a very good topic here, which I've not seen yet, but I've seen the first couple of posts and that was it. And I thought we'd go through it together, because why the fuck not? How many marks are left? Open up this to the floor. How many DSP fans are left who are genuinely fooled by the act? Or to put it in wrestling terms, are there any marks, or is everyone a smark just keeping up kayfabe? It seems pretty obvious that the whales know what's up and are happy to fund Phil's gacha habit. The 50-bit bitches have all left, so it doesn't matter what they think. The troll tippers obviously know the story. So, who's left? That one guy who was trying to buy a car but spent the money on DSP, I guess? Jack Straxer. Derek will probably believe anything you tell him, but he barely qualifies as a sentient being and at any rate doesn't tip. So is that it? Do I think there are actually any YouTube viewers from my legacy who donate? Is the guy who commissions the K-pop videos sincere? What do we think? And a few interesting responses. I'm not going as far up. This is the furthest I've gone on this topic. I've not seen any more, but I thought it was an interesting new topic. And I thought, hey, it's no fucking harm going through it together. Hey, Stevie Dead, how you doing, pal? Stevie Dead made a video the other day and it was 4 minutes long. I couldn't believe my eyes. I could watch it in one go. It was incredible. The only time I'm going to be able to watch a Stevie Dead video all in one sitting. But yeah, Stevie Dead slept in for the That Being Said podcast the other day and he felt like a bit of a daft day. It happens. We all need a beauty sleep, pal. We all need a beauty sleep. It happens. You know, but it's all understandable as well. So happens, you know, can't be helped. But anyway, back to the topic in question here, the Kiwi Farms topic. Profit, I thought Steve had a stroke. I'm not sure if you're being like DSP kind of cheeky or like I assume you're being dirty minded there, Prophet. You usually are. Yeah, the camera is off, exactly. So, the silent majority is the very first comment in that, which is so funny. Phil fucking alludes to the silent majority quite a lot of times when he's talking about his fans. This silent majority that are afraid to speak up in case they make themselves known to the evil detractors who might go after them and hound them and just harass them and call them idiots and all that shit. Basically, the wheelchairs, Jade, that retard, Refolt, Evolve, who gave Phil $100 the other night, maybe Jax. Just a small handful of literal dentheads, and I'm not certain that they even qualify as whales technically. They might just be dolphins. Everyone else knows where the money goes, and they don't care. Jax, Jeff, Slayer, Guitar Player 1939 are all from the OG YouTube days. Slayer used to go by Halfus, I believe, and yeah, he's sincerely retarded. Okay, well that's an interesting opinion. I think the marks have been going for a while. It doesn't matter as long as there's a single whale. Phil continuing to grift. That's true. As long as one person's funding his fucking habits and lifestyle, Phil will keep doing this, essentially. The game never ends, only thing it changes are the players. That's also a very good point. Sometimes you get new whales out of the blue, it's bizarre. Ask not how many dentheads there are, but how many fat wallets. And Kosher replied, everyone already knows that the small number of whales are a permanent fixture. But what I find interesting is that Phil spends endless hours crafting lies and retcons to keep up the pig noses on maybe one or two exceptionally naive people who don't even pay him. It's like he's pushing, it's like putting on a private show without even realising it. It's a very interesting topic, you know, it's just interesting to kind of think of trying to get into the mind of a DSP fan and how many are actually legitimate fans that are still there. And Fidel Castro saying he wants Super Crazy to upload some more to catch up pay pig videos. Easier said and done, pal. I mean, Super Crazy does put a good bit of effort into those videos, but you know, he's got to find that information. It doesn't just fall into his lap. Essentially, it kind of has to. He does have to do a bit of homework sometimes to try and figure out things and try and tie all the fucking connections. And so yeah, it's easier said and done. Those videos, man. It does put in some effort for those videos, but yeah, I think he's taking a wee break anyway. But he'll be back with a video, you know, hopefully in the near future. You know, fingers crossed. They are quite good, those videos usually, just to kind of get, you know, explore, you know, his kind of findings and does a kind of research into these kind of whales and these kind of really strong fans that try and, you know, they try their best to fucking pretend that they're somebody else when yet they fucking make it clear they're still the same person, just because the things they say and all that, and they kind of repeat sometimes the things they say. It's just bizarre. Phil is not awake yet, in case anyone's curious. Although we can check if he's tweeted yet. Let's refresh this page and see if he's tweeted yet. Oh yeah, Derek's still absolutely obsessed. You know, creepily obsessed. I love how Phil said that he knows it wasn't Derek tipping him because Derek does not tip him. Like, Phil's very openly aware Derek does not tip him, and he seems to be perfectly happy to have Derek be a feature on the streams. It's bizarre to me. Why? I mean, is a sincere question. Why does Phil tolerate Derek? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. He's not a whale. He has given money to Phil in the past, but he got busted by his mother for stealing her credit card. Derek stole his mother's credit card, used that credit card to give Phil money, then got caught doing it, so Derek had to apologise to Phil during a Twitch stream. That is legit. I'm not making it up. It sounds like I'm just fucking making this up to be mean to Derek. No, that is all legit, 100% confirmed. Prophet saying we trolled Derek Card last week on that Lisa stream was fucking wild. I'm not sure who that is. I'm too much of a boomer. Oh, Phil's awake it seems. And he retweeted Street Fighter. Today is Street Fighter's 35th anniversary. No, it's not. I guess the official website are saying it is, but no, that was a. I'm certain that was a few weeks ago because I talked about that. But here's fucking Phil being all nostalgic about Street Fighter. Street Fighter changed my life. It got me into a competitive mindset that formed me as a person and allowed me to be okay with performing in front of crowds. I met countless people and travelled because of it. I'll celebrate this on today's podcast. Well, there's a fucking spoiler there for you guys of what to expect on today's podcast. A fucking trip down memory lane for Phil. Talking about Street Fighter days. I mean, this is the kind of shit I'd wish you should have Jahan stand by just to, fucking debunk Phil's nonsense. The thing is, though, Prophet, that's what I'm saying, you and I both think it was a month ago. But Street Fighter themselves are saying today, I mean, literally, the official Street Fighter account here, this is a verified Street Fighter account, they're saying today is the 35th anniversary. Maybe it's the anniversary of when it got released in a certain country. Maybe it came out a month ago, 35 years ago, somewhere else first. I don't know. It's strange because I'm sure it was the anniversary was technically last month or something. Did you know? No, we cannot add FN to the list. We've already picked the cards. The bingo card, it says left hand side, bingo card is what we're using. We've already picked it. Wardog Leader says, when in doubt, go check the wiki. Alright. Let me get the wiki for Street Fighter. If it's on the Wikipedia, it must be true. Okay, we have Street Fighter here. When was this released? First released was on August the 30th, 1987, 35 years ago. Well, what do you know? The wiki says it was today. The anniversary of Street Fighter 2 was last month. Was it really? Well, balls. So, when did it say this was released? Does it say? Nah, fuck it, who cares? I don't give a shit about Street Fighter. No offense to people that like Street Fighter, but I don't give a shit about Street Fighter. Anyway, let's just go through this topic a wee bit more. Is Phil awake yet in his stream? Yeah, he is, okay, cool. Fucking ready for that. How many marks are left in DSP's chat? Lucifer Soul. He's been there longer than Derek. Although K Gallion has been there longer than both of them, I believe. But he's not active on his streams, as far as I'm aware. K Gallion's very active on the King of Hate forums. He seems to live there. He fucking has tens of thousands of posts, I believe, on the King of Hate forums. But yeah, it doesn't seem to attend the streams, at least not officially. Oh well. But yeah, the King of Fate, the Kiwi Farms is back. Fucking getting tongue twisted here. Going between King of Fate and Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is back for people that want to check out the latest attractive shenanigans. So, there you go. Okay, so, in case I was curious last night, Phil got $55 and $73, resulting in $124 in contributions. Naturally, this was not the most, profitable night for Phil. It was a slower, stream than usual. So far, he's got 2 more streams in a week. 2 more streams this week before he has his day off. He has only raised $539 so far. He is definitely going to push hard to try and get him to get tips within the next 2 days, because he's going to really emphasise how important it is he gets money for his day off. and it's a shorter week than usual. Never mind the fact that the previous week was a longer week than usual, and he had massive extra support, and he got $1,779 for a whole week's worth of, streaming shit for tips. Never mind that. This is going to be a shorter week this week, and that money's all gone. You can fucking guarantee that money will all be fucking gone. Just, fucking like that. Thanos snapped out of existence. So he's going to be really pushing hard to try and get fucking money from those dent heads as much and as fast as possible, and as early as possible. But, yeah. We are just waiting for Phil to go live. I think I'll let you guys enjoy some Meerkat music, and I'll get the bingo all set up and prepared. I was considering torturing you guys with some one. It's funny how many people are not aware that I've made a few daft DSP songs, like, stupid diss tracks. And I was thinking of, torturing you guys with them, but I thought, nah, I'd feel kind of bad about just forcing that shit on you guys. You've already heard of fucking the bingo intro, which has one of my songs. That's probably one of my better ones in my opinion, but I'm not going to fucking force you guys to listen to it anymore. Meerkat stuff is far better anyway. So you guys can enjoy. Right now we've got Italian Life, I believe it's called. So yeah, you guys can enjoy that.
Acid and nothing else. Alright. So now we gotta stir all that in, and then we add our final ingredients and then the meat.
This one's for all my baby girls.
Italian life. Italian wife. Italian bills. Italian dark side fit. Italian life. Italian wife. Italian chill. Italian can't give her a pill. I'm half kind of European mix. European style, Asian fusion style tips. Greasy hair, pasta once a week. The authentic style, Asian fusion style, Italian.
Guess what else we're gonna add?
What?
Sausage. Italian sausage. That's gonna go in here too.
I love sausage. I have had many varieties.
Italian life. Italian wife. Italian bills.
Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much. A super chat guy of two names who says, I demand you play your music. Fine. Look, Meerkat's music is still better. Let's get that abundantly clear. He puts so much effort into that shit. I just fucking find some fucking tracks on the YouTube audio library and I just fucking come up with some daft lyrics with it. Yeah, I mean, fine. I'll play a couple of my. I'll play a fucking couple of my fucking dumbass music shit. 2 seconds. I'll get something sorted. 2 seconds. We do have a wee bit of time anyway, so fuck it. I'm not going to deny, a paying punter, which is what of course, what a guy with 2 names is actually giving me money to fucking get music. Okay, so no problem. Let me just try and get something sorted for you. Just give me a second. Nope, not that one. I'll play a couple. How's that? I'll play a couple. So here we go. Let's I'll go full screen for this. By the way, Phil is going to go live any fucking second with his fucking video with his own stupid fucking music playing, and I'm just kind of waiting. It should have fucking been live like 8 minutes ago. He was scheduled to be fucking live at fucking 1:45, and he's still not got a fucking live stream going yet. And he says here in the chat, he's set up for the show. Please be patient. I'm adding a couple of things. Well, professionalism's not going to fucking lie them, that's for sure. Prophet says, Meerkat's music like Seattle air, it cures everything. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play Meerkat's music for now until until Phil's music starts playing live here. And then when it is, I can just mute it immediately and I'll fulfill Guy with 2 names wishes and do a couple of more daft shit. How's that? Does that sound reasonable? Does that sound fair? I just, because I know this is going to just annoyingly get in the way of anything once he goes live and his fucking dumbass music starts playing. So that's what I'll do. So for now, still Meerkat's music. We'll wait for Phil's dumbass fucking live stream to have its own stupid garbage music playing.
Dark side fit. Italian life. Italian wife, Italian children, Italian can't give her pill. Why do you pretend to be Italian? I don't. I'm not full-blooded Italian. That'd be ridiculous for me to claim. I'm a quarter Italian. I am 1/4 Polish, and then I'm half kind of European mix. It complements the flavor perfectly. And it's so weird because it's nothing like any other cuisine. It really isn't. I can't even tell you another cuisine that tastes like that. But it's so good. And what I like about Mediterranean food is usually when you get it, you get such a good variety of stuff. Like I got, so it came with hummus and pitas. You dip the pitas in the hummus, and that was delicious. Robust, insanely flavorful chicken. It's not dry. It's freaking robust. Give me this dipping sauce, garlic infused dipping sauce. Robust. I will tell you guys is thus. Robust. Robust. They came with their rice, which is the seasoned rice. The tastes, again, it tastes kind of different from other cultures' rices. It has peas and carrots, but it's also got this unique seasoning in it that's really good. And then also a side salad, which was like lettuce, tomato, onion, robust, insanely flavorful chicken. It's not dry. It's freaking robust. Give me this dipping sauce, garlic infused dipping sauce. Robust. I will tell you guys is thus. Robust. Robust.
How? He broke my neck.
We went and got dinner. Now, this was a double-edged sword. We knew that the restaurant we were going to was probably going to be good. It was a very high-end Chinese-style, Asian fusion-style restaurant, okay?
Okay, so Phil's got his live, fucking stream going live. So, to fulfill Guy with Two Names' wish, I'll do a couple of Madafi fucking tunes. I mean, some of them I feel better than others. I quite like this one. Like, this is like the third one I've ever done. Was like a kind of informative fucking thing. First tips are mandatory. Let's make that crystal clear. A drought in tipping contributions sure gives Phil the fear. He really needs that money, guys. There's bills he has to pay. Just ignore the fact he got $1,000 the other day. Why does he need that money? What a very personal query. Of course, detractors all have come up with their own theory. With instant financial gratification, it's WWE Champion's time, pouring money into that stupid game up till his final dime. But there's prizes for the fans, if they so choose to tip, in the form of free tier gold rewards for items he'll equip. For just $50 he shall adorn a pair of gunner glasses, an expensive price to pay to force upon his loyal masses. $100 gives the fans a choice of several hats, but remember now, you have to tip, don't count for super chats. An extra $50 more has Phil put on a vest, but you really need your buying guys, time for you to invest. Please remember there's a risk for every tip you send his way, as he'll have your private PayPal information when you pay. That's your actual name and email and currency that you use. These are the facts you need to know, please don't fall for his ruse. Then there's super chats, a safer way for fans to contribute compared to tipping, which is still Phil's preferred fan donating route. They take 2 months to pay out and not tied to any reward, so there's really no incentive for fans to donate toward. We mustn't forget Patreon, even though most others do. Let's be real, this isn't the avenue Phil stopped trying to pursue. His last update on the site was over 4 whole years ago, which just illustrates the lack of effort from Phil that's on show. The memberships I saw a lot of soccer accounts created just to reach a target set by Phil, so became quite inflated. Rewards were barely worth it, such as seeing Phil eat food. Fans assume multiplayer was coming, but Phil claimed was misconstrued. Then there has to be engagement, so like the video and stream, and also be sure to comment to boost Phil's own self-esteem. Phil demands 100 likes and he'll make sure that it is known, so just do as you're goddamn told as Phil sits on his crusty throne. When tips are nowhere to be seen, he'll turn on begging mode where he cries and whines and hints about how all the tips are slowed. He will say he's not complaining while he rants and moans a ton, screaming, "All I want to do is play games and have fun." Every game's behind a paywall, but some tips goals must be met. A run of slow streams puts that game in immediate threat. The fans are trained to satiate Phil's financial desires to fulfill Phil's own expectations of what money that he requires. And if you don't trust that pig roach to spend money on a game, you can just send him console credits for Phil to eventually claim, and send him your best artwork to contribute to his streams. If you think Phil's gonna pay you though, you've fallen for his schemes. So tipping in super chats, Patreon memberships, liking and commenting bids, it's a lot to demand of for an audience that's consisting mainly of young kids. When the guilt tripping's high and the fans start to cry and they're throwing equipment at you, it is mainly all due to the guilt caused by you from the begging that you put them through. Then you entice us with a brand new crisis to elicit more contributions. The black shirters warmly look for Lawrence to state financial resolutions. So give him your blood and your sweat and your tears while you're leaving yourself in financial arrears for tomorrow's the same answer to his Phil's aim just to keep you donating for years. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that was one of my first ones. That was like the third one I ever did. That was back in February. This year, I made that back in February, over 6 months ago. And since then, of course, Phil has actually updated Patreon randomly. Yeah, but I was actually quite pleased with that video and how it turned out, especially the ending. I like how I ended that as well. I thought it kind of flowed together quite well. But yeah, so as I said, some of the things I do when I make it at a time, I'm thinking I'm liking how this has turned out. But some of them just kind of hit better than others. That's what I'm saying. Like this one only had 400 odd views. I don't do this for fucking popularity or anything. I do it because I feel like I want to do it and it's fun, But it's amazing how few people seem to kind of be aware that I've done these fucking silly videos, like this, for fucking several months now. But yeah, I don't like fucking forcing this shit down people's throats. I live stream with me and it's usually quite enough. You know what I mean? But I'll do one more. I'll do one more for you guys, right? And then we'll focus on the bingo because Phil could be going live any fucking time, properly. So, Code Black is one of my other favourite ones I've done because it's rapid. It's high intense. I'll just put it that way. It's a very rapidly. I'm amazed this one I managed to do this one. Put it that way. But you'll see what I mean. Be thankful. Be thankful for subtitles. That's all I'm going to say. Of it, like on board, it's the calm before the waters. Very soon you'll ask a motor dress up like a future portal. When the tips are also low and stay so slow and have no flow, that's when you know he's gonna go and ask for dough and what to show. The fan support is key as he will pay for fans to pay a fee and guarantee for all to see. He's begging tickers back on free. He wants to wear a hat and vest as long as his dumb pants and vest. They make request and his request is their finances far too stressed. He's wanting to wear glasses, bottles, good day watching masses. Won't get taught the lazy asses as the vessel burns to ashes. Now it's time to blame the game and got some shame on why his tips are lame as he will aim to fame his money. Situation is quite tame. There's nothing he can do, so sends a tweet to come from Bitcoin too. He has no clue on why, so if you won't donate for his revenue, he'll tell those fans they mustn't wait. They can donate, it's not too late, cause at this rate he'll hesitate on if the game is worth his weight. It's Bitcoin 1, we're almost done, and detractors are having fun. His race has run, his tickles being hit are looking like it's none. No goals are met, he lost a bit, and now the pig's starting to sweat. He looks upset, and so is the fans that he begins to fit. He will attack and snort and knock and so will trigger. Awkward back as Phil does lack of tips he wanted, so he keeps on talking smack. Bitcoin 0 will drop a nuke to silence. Phil toxic rebuke would make a normal viewer pick and let his fans feeling quite shook. Next day we'll see Phil's fake confession about how that was his depression to explain salty aggression, so his fans should never question. A new day resets the score and Phil's excuses start to bore, and we can't take it anymore as we start off at Bitcoin 4. Yeah, so that one's quite intense in terms of the pace of it. Yeah, that beat, I love that fucking beat. And I just thought I had to do something with that fucking beat, even though it was so it wasn't the longest track, you know what I mean? But I tried to make it work as best as I could. Any sign of Phil being live yet? What's he saying in chat? Yeah, BRB gone for a sec, then I'll be going back to laptop. He's not going to be fucking live yet for another 5 minutes at least or something. But yeah, it was quite a high intensity one. There's a couple of recent ones I've done recently. I've done a couple of things. I've done something with Shinko, which was quite fun. Which I was okay. I'll do one more. I'll do the one I've done with Shinko. I actually managed to do something with Shinko, which I fucking love how it turned out. Because my idea was to say something in Scottish and make it kind of rhyme, and then have something be said translated So you're saying the same thing, but you're saying it two different ways. One kind of a Scottish way, and one the kind of translated. How would you actually translate the kind of strange Scottishness and still say the same thing, but you're saying it different? So even though each thing that me and Shinko are technically saying the same thing, it's different. But so that was my aim, and I made it work. But Shinko really, so he edited the video, and he had his own, like, you know, take on it as well in terms of how he delivered his lines. He done great with it. Just with whole kind of like, you know, you'll see what I mean.
Thank you for using the Scottish Roast Translator. To begin using the Scottish Roast Translator, please load your Scottish Roast now. Thank you, and enjoy.
Phil, you're a sleek current timorous wee fud, gia gliz, ga kiss, cover your picky pus and blood.
You're a little pussy who just cowers and quakes, gonna headbutt your pig-like face until your nose breaks.
Forget Rabbi Burns, I'm burning this wee roaster. My rhymes will take him on the wildest verbal roller coaster.
Unlike Robert Burns, I'm the one to flame this fool. My rhymes will destroy Philip as I'm taking him to school.
That stupid wee fanny really wanted that wee doll. Had that dauber sitting on a stream to whinge and greet and ball.
Philip still wishes for that Wolverine toy while he grew up on the outside, on the inside still a boy.
Away and boil your heat, you boggin' Bev and Jakey. Begging partners every day, your future is so shaky.
Get lost, you disgusting, foul-smelling drunk. Your YouTube days are numbered, it's true you can't debunk.
There's YouTube tubes in Egypt and always blithering pish. Some bamp up with deep pockets is Philip's biggest wish.
This YouTube idiot's lost the plot and it makes so little sense. He's craving rich and generous fans who are mentally quite dense.
I'm geeing this was loudy, you're off your fucking head. Your bum is out the window while pretending you're in need.
I'm bringing all this energy to convey all your lying. You're prone to great exaggeration that there's no denying.
Going all day that DSP, gonna hodge your weast. I'm pure done in your clatty bam, your haverins unleashed.
Stop lying so often, DSP, and please do hold your tongue. I'm tired of your disgusting acts while you act so unstrung.
This crabby clatty munter's looking half a peely wally. Needs to get it Meryl, he'll end up going to lally.
This grumpy, ugly person's looking like he's very pale. For peace of mind, go get some sun and stop binging on ale.
Many a mickle max a muckle you'd be saving hunters. Instead you blow it all as soon as tipped enough for gunners.
Saving small but often can lead to greater savings, but you are quick to impulse spend on mobile gaming cravings.
He acts a certain gunners when he's no hit a goal. You're off your heat for all that greed, so you should shut your hole.
His disappointment for missed goals leaves Phil feeling low, but shouldn't rant at fans for this just cause tips were slow.
You're up to Heido every day and all you do is gurn. You're such a scummy chancer chasing dosh you never earn.
You get worked up every day, but all you do is whine. You're a toxic con man chasing money all the time.
Hell mend you Phil, you walloper, for acting such a diddy. Your eggs are double yolk it while you're pilfering for kiddies.
You'll get yours, Phil, you dick, for being a spineless bitch. You'd exaggerate tall tales to children to get rich.
Yeah, so that's as I said, it turned out fantastic, that one, because I'm just happy with it wasn't just obviously the lyrics. Okay, I worked hard on the lyrics just to try and make sure it kind of flowed nice, but Shinko delivered it perfectly, man. He was definitely the right person to ask to join in with that, you know. I just thought that was fantastic. The job that Shinko done, not only with editing the video, but his performance as well in the video was fucking top notch, you know. So, and Shinko's been like he's been massively like supportive of this dumb shit I do with the fucking music stuff, because he's tried to show off a couple of them before on his own streams, you know. Like it's not even just obviously the music stuff, whatever, but even random videos I make. Sometimes he'll just throw links on his stream as well when he's like near the end of his own stuff. He'll try and highlight what I do. So I've been very appreciative of Shinko, you know what I mean. He does this, you know. He seems to obviously. He cares about trying to highlight other detractors as well, you know what I mean, which is good, you know. So Shinko's good people. If you don't follow Shinko, you should definitely check him out. He usually streams once Phil's finished the whole show that he's done for the first stream. So for UK time, that's like midnight. For any other time, check your time zones. But roughly midnight in the UK is when he usually does a stream, but not every night, just some nights. So, which I recommend. Oh, right, fucking perfect timing. We're fucking time for bingo. Phil's going live right now. Okay, well, you know guys know the drill. Tag me in chat in case I miss anything. Let's get the music back on. It's on low volume, you know, the fucking Meerkat music. There we go. Cool. And yeah, good luck guys. Shit. Hang on.
How's everyone today?
Okay, here we go.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone today? The ghost is off, so I'm not on my game today. Look at this. I'm not on my game. Son of a bitch. It's all good. That's the one mistake I'm going to make today. Everything else will be perfect. Welcome, everyone, to the Level 1 Podcast. I'm Darkside Phil. Today is Tuesday, the 30th of August, 2022. My next to last consecutive streaming day of this week, and the next to last day of August itself. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well on this lovely Tuesday. Oh, yes. I'm excited for today. Many fun things happening on my streams today, of course. Number one, we've got a brand new release on the first stream. It is the premiere of Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, the modern remake of Destroy All Humans 2. A couple years ago, excuse me, I played the original Destroy All Humans remake, and it was quite fun. Kind of interesting, a little dated, of course, but kind of irreverent, silly, had interesting mini games, little mini missions and things to do. And I remember it being a pretty fun summertime playthrough to kind of, you know, kill some time. It wasn't anything that was majorly, oh my god, blowing you away, being that it was an older game made for a modern console, but at the same time it was quite entertaining. And also, of course, later tonight I get to return to Midnight Fight Express, the indie game from last week that I really, really enjoyed. I had no idea what to really expect from a one-man dev team, but man, the game is great for a brawler. Really excellent kind of beat-em-up style modern game with combat elements you unlock, with weapons, new enemies every stage, cool, a kicking soundtrack. Really great game. So I'm actually very excited for today's gameplay streams. But I'm also excited for this episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, today, officially, is the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter. It was 35 years ago today that the original Street Fighter 1, that most people never played, actually released and started the whole trend of fighting games. It really was the first major one-on-one combat video game of its sort. And of course, Street Fighter 1, very, very different from Street Fighter 2. It really was Street Fighter 2 that revolutionized what competitive fighting games would end up being to this very day, and that was many years later. But it is definitely pretty cool to sit here and say 35 years later, I am an avid gamer. I'm an internet video game content creator, among other things, and my life, in a lot of ways, was formed by Street Fighter. You know, it was kind of a series of circumstances and a series of almost coincidences or unintended happenings that just kind of lined up to give me the life experience that I've had to become the person that I am today. If it wasn't for Street Fighter, perhaps I never would have gotten that competitive edge that I have to want to succeed at various things in life. Perhaps I never would have gotten enough confidence to actually stand in front of a group of people in real life and talk or perform in some way. Perhaps I never would have had the confidence to sit here in front of hundreds of people on demand, well, excuse me, hundreds of people live, thousands of people on demand all over the world on a daily basis and talk to you guys, right? Like, it takes a lot. A lot of people say, you know, I can't do that. I can't put myself out there or whatever. I was doing that in the early 1990s, playing Street Fighter in arcades. And what I'd like to do today is kind of go through my personal history with Street Fighter, how it affected my life, and how Street Fighter has changed over the years. Because I would definitely say that Street Fighter was a major part of my life in my formative years. In the last decade, 15 years, yes and no. Like, it's definitely been a part of my content, but I feel like Street Fighter went one way while I went another way, okay? So we'll talk about that today. That'll be the major focus of today's podcast to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter, okay? So, ladies and gents, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're ready for a fun day of new release content. 2 days left in the streaming week for me. I'm off on Thursday, which makes this a shorter streaming week, only 5 days rather than my usual 6, to account for last week that I was here for 7 days. So far, it's been a great week. Finished up both Pac-Man World Repack yesterday, and then kind of gave a send-off to 2 Point Campus. So those games now will be out of the rotation for now. There is a possibility 2 Point Campus may return in the future, but I'm at a situation here to give you perspective. There's games that I want to play, and I can only play them once a week. That's not good. That means I'm juggling way too much. I need to reduce the amount of games that I'm playing. When I've got awesome games like Midnight Fight Express and fun, challenging, competitive games like Multiverses that I can only play 2 hours a week, that is not nearly enough. Number one, to even stay entertained. Number two, to keep those playthroughs moving, or to even stay relevant in a competitive game like Multiverses. Once a week is not enough. I've got to do more than that. So I got to look at what I'm doing and say, okay, let's cut back. And what can we cut back on? Well, I beat Pac-Man, so that's one thing out of the rotation. And let's be honest, 2 Point Campus was never meant to be an ongoing playthrough at all. It was meant to be let's just try out something random that's on Game Pass because it's the summer and there's nothing else really going on. I tried it out and ended up liking it. I definitely think that it's a great game, but it's not necessarily something that I'm dying to play constantly. It's a game that's lengthy. Like I think I've seen 5 of the 12 campuses in the game, and I'm 12 hours in. So is it going to be a 40-hour playthrough of simming game? I feel like for now we've seen enough, and I definitely need a break from it, which is why it is now out of the rotation. But people did express the desire last night. They said, hey, the game's good. We'd like to maybe see it come back. Could you possibly bring it back in the future? To which I responded, yeah, what I'll do is I'll keep my cloud save. So if ever we want to bring it back, and I'm still under Game Pass, the game should still be under Game Pass, I should be able to bring it back and continue it at a later date when we're looking for more late night chill stream games. Right now we're not. Right now we're looking to reduce the amount of games that I'm playing. Okay? Cool. And by the way, also going along with that with Madden, because some people are saying, when are you going to play Madden again? Well, first of all, I'm only doing the trial of Madden. The trial of Madden is 10 hours. I've already played 6. That means I can only do one more stream of Madden. So doesn't really matter if and when I even do it. It's going to be the end whenever I do it. I'm not going to get that far. If you haven't noticed, I haven't won a single game yet in the normal season. So, it doesn't really matter if and when I play Madden again. And by the way, when I was playing Madden, it lost interest. The second session dramatically dropped views, dramatically dropped engagement, dramatically dropped support, and the videos on YouTube did abysmal. No one cared about Madden. So that's why I'm not caring about going back to it anytime soon when there's all this other stuff going on. That's way more interesting to me. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the schedule for the next week. Pretty exciting schedule for this week coming up. Some good variety. Although, again, yes, admittedly, this is basically downtime filler content. Let's be honest. Are there any major AAA releases coming out in the next week? No. How many more weeks do we have to say that? Well, let's take a look. You ready? You ready for this? How many more weeks do we have to say, are there AAA releases coming out? No. Well, let's see. Next week is The Last of Us 1-2 Remake. No, that's not a huge AAA release. Sorry, it's not. It's a re-release that everyone already played. Disney Dreamlight Valley, September 5th. No, that's not a huge AAA release. It's kind of an Animal Crossing deal. I'll check it out. It's under Game Pass, but it's not a giant release. Splatoon 3. No. Sorry, Nintendo fans. Splatoon is not a ginormous, oh my god, must-play series. If you have a Nintendo console, it is a game that's worth playing, and I am playing it. But no, that's not a giant AAA release. Sorry, it's just not. The Modern Warfare 2 open beta on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Yes and no. I mean, yes, it's definitely a AAA game. Okay? But in the last year, it's fallen monstrously out of prominence. Everyone agreed Vanguard was their worst outing pretty much ever. And I didn't even buy it after playing the beta last year. It was so stinking bad. So with the Modern Warfare 2 beta around the corner, will it prove that Call of Duty is back to its old self and worth buying and playing at length? Or is it going to be another yearly annual cash-in piece of shit? I guess we're going to find out. And that firsthand, that beta experience on both consoles will determine if I'm going to buy the game or not. Is that AAA? Yes. Will people be excited for that? Yeah, for like a few sessions, maybe 1 or 2. After that, they'll be like, okay, it's Call of Duty. So maybe in September, that will be the one moment when I start playing Call of Duty beta. Maybe we'll get a little bit of additional interest where people will be excited. Outside of that, the only other release in September that's really on my radar is Return to Monkey Island on September 19th, but I don't even know if I'm playing. Is it a giant AAA release? Fuck no. It's actually the next in line from a game of point-and-click adventure games from the 1990s that were PC games at the time. I played the first two. What was it? Secret of Monkey Island, and what was the other one? LeChuck's Revenge. But I don't know if I'm sold on playing this one particularly. The art style in particular looks terrible to me. I think it really looks like shit. I don't know why they made it look like that. I think the actual art style of the original games looks better than the art style of the new one. That's a problem. But I don't know. We're going to see what's going on at that point if I want to play it or not. Outside of that, that's September. So, yeah, we are very much still in summertime filler mode. There is nothing of major note going on almost the entirety of the month of September, and that is rare when that happens. It usually feels like September is the month when it's the busy fall gaming season and all the heavy hitting games start releasing. This year, it doesn't start until October. So, yeah, I know. When you hear me saying, oh, I'm going to play Destroy All Humans 2, and I want more time for Midnight Fight Express, and I want more time for Multiverses, you're like, well, where's the big games? I wish I could tell you. There's just none this year. This has been one of the most dead streaks of time I've ever seen in gaming. I mean, we're talking basically in May, games started to fizzle out from the February, March, April big release monstrous block of games. So now you're talking June, July, August, September. They're dead, dead, dead. And then people will give me shit and say, but what about Xenoblade Chronicles 3? But what about Cult of the Lamb? But what about... They're not. Sorry, wrong. They're not ginormous, hyped, AAA mainstream releases. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a highly lauded JRPG that's 140 hours long, that doesn't fit into my kind of gameplay style, and isn't really going to work. All right? I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying it just doesn't work for me. Cult of the Lamb is a viral popularity game that will not be popular soon. It's just one of these summer fads. These are not giant AAA games, which is the point I'm trying to make. There's really nothing that people are so excited for to see someone like me play. You see? So, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to juggle the games that are out there, to have fun with them. I want to say thanks to those of you who are still here and chilling with me and supporting the streams. I have definitely noticed a distinct drop off in viewership in the last few weeks because there's nothing going on. What can you do, right? What can you do? Streams are still doing pretty good. The on-demand video views have definitely declined. So anyway, let us talk about the schedule. Today, as I've already stated, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, premiering on the mainstream. Like the remake of the original game a couple.
Fuck it, I'm going on a detour. I was mulling over whether I should do a detour or not, but I'm going to do it. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. 2 seconds. I need to just fucking make sure I shut this person up. Nope, no, I don't want if I can hear that right now. Right. Detour to Twitch. We've gone to Twitch temporarily. Don't worry, I'm not fucking going to Twitch. We're on Twitch. So, what's Phil playing today? Attack All Humans? Well, or Aliens, isn't it? Aliens. What's the fucking game called? Destroy All Humans, that's what it fucking is. Destroy All Humans. So, this is the new game Phil's playing, the hot new game. There's 6.4k viewers, okay? Current metrics for Twitch, 6.4k viewers are viewing right now. Okay? Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. 19.7k viewers right now for Cult of the Lamb. Wow. Apparently this game is a temporary fad that it won't be popular within like a couple of days or something. Really, Phil? Really? Because Cult of the Lamb has got far more people interested on Twitch right now, and that's kind of a really good metric for this kind of thing. Really good metric for that, you know. Just saying. What else is Phil playing tonight? Let's go to the Tucking Tips tracker. Tonight he's playing Midnight Fight Express. Midnight Fight Express. 191 viewers of Midnight Fight Express. Oh, really get the butts on the seats. Big time. Well done, Phil.
Well, years ago, irreverent fun, silliness, a lot of chaos and carnage with the amount of destruction you do with the UFO, and you're throwing cows around and doing the zany stuff, right? Pretty fun game. Looking forward to more. I mean, it's kind of mindless, let's be honest. Not necessarily the most intelligent, highbrow fun, right? But at the same time, it's still it's passable fun for a summertime like this. So I'm excited to see what that is today. And then tonight, of course, I actually am really excited for Midnight Fight Express. I really loved the game when I played it last week. So I'm looking forward to another stream of it tonight and getting that back into the regular schedule. Okay. Tomorrow, either more Saints Row 1, if that's what you guys want, or we could do more.
I'm glad you fucking mentioned Saints Row 1. Let's go back to fucking Twitch. How many people are watching Saints Row 1 right now? Let's Saints Row. Like the 2006 version. Where's the 2006 version? Let's get this thing fucking listed on here. Hang on. There it is there. Saints Row 2006. Is there anyone playing it right now? I don't even know if anyone's fucking playing it right now. Where the hell is the fucking 2006 version? It's not even fucking listed. I don't even think anyone's fucking playing it right now on Twitch. Because usually I think if someone's playing the game right now on Twitch, go down to the category. If I click on here and then categories, okay, here we go. That's okay, thank you very much for pointing out. Nobody's actually streaming it right now. Not one single human being on Twitch is streaming the original Saints Row game right now that he's playing right now. That's why that's why it wasn't in the fucking list. What about Bassmaster? His fucking Sunday night game. On Sunday, he played Saints Row, followed by Bassmaster Fishing. It had a combined viewership on Twitch at a time of 7 people. Nobody's streaming this game either right now. 0 for 2 of them straight in a row. Bloody hell, man. Phil's really playing the fucking hot new games that are really getting the butts on the seats. He's not playing Bassmaster tonight, by the way. I just thought I'd point that out, you know. He's playing games that no one gives a shit about. What else is on his fucking radar? Multiverses, to be fair. Multiverses is the one game Phil's playing right now, which is getting, you know, people are still obviously watching Multiverses. So in all the games Phil's got in his rotation, Multiverses is the one that's still getting some attention.
Destroy All Humans 2. So what I want to do today is I want to get your feedback over the course of today. What are you craving more sooner? Do you want me to go back to Saints Row first for tomorrow's stream, or would you rather have me do Destroy All Humans 2 days in a row because it's a new playthrough? So let me try to gauge your interest today, see what you guys say. What I may do, if I haven't really determined an answer by the end of today, what I may do is a poll overnight on the community tab of DSP Gaming, where you guys can vote on what you'd like to see as tomorrow's first gameplay stream. Okay? Okay. And then Wednesday night, Multiverses. The only time I get to play Multiverses this week, which sucks, because I really like the game, and it sucks that I have to wait so long to play it.
I tell you what, for the sake of transparency, even though I just said Multiverses does well, let's just make sure that we're not just fucking, I don't want to be just, you know, accused of not being thorough here. Multiverses. Let's see the metrics for Multiverses, just to clarify. Over 20,000 people. Yeah, so yeah, we had a good feeling that it still got interest, and there you go. 20,000 people. If this guy played Multiverses and Call to the Lamb, he'd probably do quite well. 20,000 people watching Multiverses right now. That's what I'm saying, though, there's 2 games right there that might get Phil a bit of interest back to back. Instead, he's playing games that fucking some people aren't even playing at all right now on Twitch.
So that'll be Wednesday night, okay? I am not here on Thursday. It's my day off from streaming for the week. All right, when I return on Friday, the first stream will be whatever we didn't play on Wednesday. So if we played Saints Row on Wednesday, then it'll be Destroy All Humans 2 or vice versa. Friday night is Friday Night Fights, my old school fighting game stream of the week, Capcom Fighting Collection. This week it's actually on the correct date. Previously it had been bumped last week to Saturday. This week it'll be on Friday again. It's always a good chill time to interact with the audience while we wait for matches, and then the matches are fun. And then on Saturday, the marathon event you've all been waiting for. Well, at least if you're a fan of the Ninja Turtles or you grew up in the 1990s like me, you've probably been waiting for this a lot, especially if you've played some of the games in the past. It is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection, coming out actually today. All right, this is a retro throwback collection of old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, all in one. But I'm saving it for Saturday because I'm doing a Cowabunga Pizza Party Marathon all day long on Saturday. We'll be going through the history of Ninja Turtles games in this collection, starting on the NES with the original platformer action game, moving into the arcade games that were the first games that got me to go to video arcades to begin with, then moving into the home-based games that are ports of those, but actually some original games that were made for the home consoles that were not in arcades, and then heading into the fighting games. So there's a lot of ground to cover in the history of Ninja Turtles video games. And what I'd like to do is kind of go down memory lane over the course of Saturday and play them. I'm not going to beat them. For example, there's no way I'm beating the NES game. It's annoying as fuck. I'll probably play it for a little bit, get annoyed, and say, I'm not playing this ever again. Because that's what every kid did back in the day. No exaggeration. Everyone bought it, played it, said, what the fuck is this piece of shit? And never played the game ever again because it sucked. However, the arcade games are outstanding, and sure, the arcade games can be beaten in under an hour each, and apparently they're going to have online cooperative gameplay. So it's a no-brainer that I jump into those and try to play them with people over the internet and maybe do some co-op playthroughs of those. And then, like I said, head into like the fighting games and stuff. It should be a fun event. And I'm going to be ordering pizza during the event, eating live, and you guys can do the same with me if you want to order some pizza, of course. You don't have to. I'm just saying it's kind of a community event where we eat pizza, maybe share what we're eating together. And
I'm just waiting for the fucking people that are going to be in this chat say, I'm sorry, Phil, I was going to tip you, but I had to get myself pizza instead. How many people are going to fucking just mess with Phil, just say, I would have gave you money, but I had to order food for myself? You told us to get pizza, Phil. You told us all to get ourselves pizza and join in with you. I didn't realise you wanted us to tip first. Was I ever tip you or get pizza? And I prefer pizza. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. It's just, this guy is trying his best to hype up this fucking stupid pizza party, pretending he's got fucking friends. It's a one-man party. Sitting in his wee fucking dusty office. One-man party. Me, myself, and I. Partying to Ninja fucking Turtles. Fucking hooray for that. Review Top Paper USA says, funny enough, I've been doing that this whole time I've watched him. What? Ordering pizza instead of giving them money? That's a good shout, yeah. If it's a choice between food and tip and Phil, food is going to win 100% of the time. Although, to be fair, with me, food would win every time if it's against anything. Essentially, you know, if I'm save a puppy or ordering food, I'll probably fucking, you know, eat the food while the puppy is not saved. I don't know. I'm not that bad. But yeah, Phil is just fucking doing his best. It was, by the way, guys. By the way, Saturday, because it's some kind of strange special event for Phil, it means it's probably going to be a shorter podcast. But I am prepared for this. I am going to do a 3x3 bingo card because I'm expecting a shorter podcast. So if it is a shorter podcast, it means we're only going to have a 3x3 bingo square. It doesn't mean it's going to have a better chance of winning. Keep in mind, we have got to make sure Phil has these things said. You know, it's 9 fines from over 100 choices. Well, 8 fines. Snort's still going to be there. I'm going to keep. Well, I might keep Snort. I don't know.
And I will definitely have a segment where I'll go through my history with the Ninja Turtles growing up, explaining how I became a fan of Ninja Turtles and all the different media and things that were involved with Ninja Turtles over the years, because it definitely changed. You know, for me, it actually started off with the television show, while with a lot of people, it started off with the comics and toys. I watched the TV show first, and then I kind of jumped into the other stuff. And then it just became an insane phenomenon. It really did. So, should be pretty fun. I hope you guys will join me on this Saturday for the Cowabunga Pizza Party event, all right? Then, for the rest of the week, you know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc., it's going to be me alternating between Saints Row and Destroy All Humans 2 as the main gameplay streams, and the night streams will be Midnight Fight Express and Multiverses, okay? The exception will be Sunday night, because Sunday night is Sunday Night Bites.
Hold on a second. He's already planning to remove Multiverses back to night streams. I thought he was meant to keep it to day streams because it would have got more popularity, perhaps, and support. Because it gets good engagement, it gets good views. You know, the videos do well on demand. The only thing it doesn't do well is tips. And people suggested to him, move it to the day stream. To try and maybe get some better tips out of it. And yet he's already getting it back to night stream Multiverses. What the fuck? That is some dumb business sense.
My weekly late night session of Bassmaster Fishing 2022. We did it just a couple days ago. It was the most successful stream of it I've ever done. I ended up catching an insanely giant fish, the likes of which I didn't even know existed on this planet, but apparently is real. And We got our first fishing lure added to the fisherman's hat. My hope is that every week we can add at least one, if not more, to the hat and have it really look cool for every week when I play Bassmaster. So that's Sunday nights, okay? All right, so that's the variety of stuff coming up this week. Now, coming up on September, was it 5th I said? This Disney Dreamlight Valley. And likely what that's going to be is a chill stream that I'll interject kind of into the rotation. So definitely there'll be some of that coming up as well. Maybe that'll be alternated for a bit with multiverses, because Midnight Fight Express is about 8 hours long. We're 2 hours in. After tonight we'll be 4 hours in. So another session, 6, and then probably 2 more sessions will beat Midnight Fight Express. So it'll actually have opportunity to have another game thrown into the late night rotation.
Shut your hole.
Should be pretty good. All right. That's the schedule. One quick thing I'd like to say, and then we're going to get into talking about Street Fighter. All right. As you guys can see, this month we lost literally 250 members or more. Why? Because of the bullshit against this channel. And I hate to say it, I wish that there was a quicker resolution with YouTube for these kind of issues. There's not. As you know, false copyright strikes, sadly, take forever to clear up. Sometimes they take 2 weeks to clear up. Sometimes they take 3 months. And there's nothing you can really do. I've already stated my case to YouTube about why there's bullshit against the channel. It shouldn't be affecting me. But it is what it is. So there's not much I can really do about that. I just have to basically wait for them to take action. I've been waiting almost a week. It was actually, I think, Wednesday of last week when it hit me. So here we are, you know, almost a full week later, and literally nothing has happened. Just sitting here waiting, okay? So sadly, people have taken kind of a wait-and-see attitude, saying, I don't want to get a membership to your channel or renew a membership or gift a membership, because what if you get hit with more false strikes or whatever, and now the membership basically doesn't get the benefits, right? Here's what I have to say about that. Don't worry. All right? At this point...
No. Here's what I have to say about that. Let's check his fucking YouTube money. It looks like he's going to get for fucking, you know, for his fucking next YouTube payment. $3,490 will be, at the current rate anyway, his next YouTube pay. That is substantially less than what he usually gets. The lowest he's had before from YouTube pay in recent times anyway this year was the $4,166 he got from the February pay that was given to him in March. But he had a good amount of tips, so to kind of, you know, make up for that. Pretty much. He still got over $10,000 that fucking month because of the excessive amount of tips he received that fucking month. In both months there. Fucking, you can see here. It's normal for him to get about 5k. Back then anyway, it's normal for him to get over $5,000 easily in tips in those 2 months in February and March. 5,500 in February, 5,500 in March. And it dropped a bit, and the tips have not been doing as well as lately either. So the tips can no longer fucking make up for the YouTube shortfall. So all of a sudden, man, it's like, oh no, the gifted memberships have all expired and nobody wants to fucking become a member anymore. There's no incentive to become a member, and his channel might get fucking nuked. And all of a sudden, his YouTube page is looking kind of shitty again. And not only that, the tips are doing okay, but he really needs a massive amount of fucking support within the next couple of days on the YouTube side. Otherwise, this might be one of his worst YouTube payments he's had in recent memory. So I'll have to wait and see how that fucking does. Don't fucking worry, Phil, saying, I don't worry, just give me money. Just give me money, guys. Don't fucking worry about your money that you're going to be fucking spending on something that might not fucking matter for anything. Just give me money anyway. This motherfucker's genuinely fucking telling his fans, just fucking give me money anyway. Who the fuck cares if I get fucking, you know, yeeted off YouTube or not? Just give me fucking money. Yeah, greedy fuck.
Point, I kind of have to say this. At this point, since now we realize there's not going to be a quick resolution, I don't think we should be sitting here worrying the sky is falling, acting like Chicken Little. If something bad happens, I have a backup plan. This is not the end. I'm still going to be here making content. But I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, this is going to hurt me. When I lose 300 members in 1 month because people are afraid because of bullshit trolling against the channel, that's going to hurt me a lot. That's income I rely on every month that I don't get now. And now that's money that I need to pay my bills and stuff that I'm not going to get because of illegal activities against me. And that's really concerning because usually we have people who are here rallying saying, let's hit that goal. Let's have that Rage-a-thon happen. Yeah, remember what the goal was? Rage-a-thon. We were going to do a marathon.
You also remember, guys, that the fucking original target was 675 members, and then he lowered it to 600, and then he lowered it to 550, and then he gave up. He's saying the same fucking shit he said the last few fucking days, for sure. It's boring as shit, man. It's absolutely fucking boring as shit. We've fucking heard this all before. We've heard every single one of this fucking things before. In fact, I'm going 1.25 speed. I'm going to try and speed through this shit because we've heard this shit before. We know the script. We know the story. It's just going to be the same old garbage every fucking time. So let's just go 1.25 speed and try and blitz through this fucking, it's repeated soap opera antics from Phil. Hey, Prophet went to fucking Popeyes for lunch. Did you miss anything? Phil's talking about his memberships and how he fucking tanked and how people shouldn't be afraid. People should not be afraid to fucking give him money for memberships because he needs that money, guys. He really does.
In September, where you guys pick rage-inducing games for me to play, and I was going to do this marathon, and it was going to be a fun weekend event that we were going to do probably around the middle of September, and we were on...
What would have just said there, yeah, but he's trying to make it out that it was the trolls, not the fact he lost so many members that he gave up. Yeah, keep in mind, this drama stuff for Phil only fucking happened within, mid to late August. Okay? So it was within the last, a couple of weeks of August, this all happened. Memberships expire, though, after a whole month, so the last membership bomb happened, right, at the end of July. For the first few weeks, the first couple of weeks of August, there was no drama, and yet nobody fucking gave him any membership bombs at all to try and get the fucking target hit. There was no big flurry of fucking support and all that shit. There was no drama happening at the same time. There was nothing going on. The only drama that was happening was him fucking trying to monetize Evil Age's content, which he ended up fucking doing successfully. He fucking stole his video, ripped it, put it on his own fucking channel for monitored again, which Phil says is illegal, but he does it anyway because Phil is being Phil, and is pretending the whole thing belongs to him, even though he had no fucking hand in editing it whatsoever. It is what it is. So, that was the only drama that was going on at the time. Fucking the Evil Age stuff that Phil just fucking kept mentioning. He talks about Evil Age for 4 days in a fucking row. He lives rent-free in his goddamn fucking head still to this day, and Evil Age hasn't made a fucking video about Phil in who knows how long. But as I'm saying though, there was nobody fucking giving Phil membership bombs because nobody fucking wanted to fucking see this apparent major flaw, and there was no actual interest or desire for us fucking dentheads to fucking support this. And at the same time, Phil was just going doing his usual shit where it's like, please tip me, tips would help the most right now. It'd be great to hit his goal, but if you can, prioritise tips. At one point during August, Phil was saying, guys, I don't need tips more than anything right now. I'm just saying if you can, please tip me. That was what Phil prioritised at one point in August. He actually said, if you have to forego doing things like super chats and memberships for tips, please do so. So he shot himself in his own gouty foot with this fucking tactic. He got no bad tips sometimes, but everything else took a fucking hit. And it's Phil's own damn fault. He's trying to fucking blame a very recent thing for something nobody gave a shit about for the whole month.
Pace to hit it. At one point we were like 550, 560 members, and we only had to hit 600. We were on pace, and then the nonsense hits me, right? And look what happens. So
I'd like to point out as well that at some point during August, right at the start of August, Phil did have over 600 members. Technically, he had the required amount of members for the goal to have been, hit. But the fact of the matter is, Phil only fucking lowered those goals every time there was a fucking massive drop in membership numbers. I'm just, by using Phil's strange fucking, semantics here, technically he had the required...
Money, yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much for the anonymous tip here. It says, guys, when you tip me less than $2, most of that goes to PayPal, but don't worry, in 10 minutes, I'm going to tell you not to feel pressured by it. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it, anonymous, whoever you are. But cheers for a random tip. And yeah, man, fucking PayPal takes so much off you, really, really do. As apparently a kind of workaround around, for lower contributions, PayPal you can try and set up to a different thing. I tried to do that, but PayPal just ignored me, so it is what it is. But I don't really care about tips anyway, you don't have to worry about that with me. I won't rant at you guys about fucking contributions, don't worry. I really lost my train of thought there with a fucking tip. I mean, I do appreciate a tip, but I fucking lost my train of thought in what I was saying. So... I can't really remember exactly where I was, so long story short, Phil's a dick, and he's blaming recent drama for something that nobody cares about for a whole month. Like memberships. That's that.
Well, here's what I have to say. It's time to stop being afraid of these assholes. It really is. It's time to stop letting them dictate how we behave and what we do. I'm not going anywhere if this channel gets suspended, which would be bullshit. It really would. I'm still going to make content anyway. It just won't be exactly on DSP Gaming, but there will still be new content every day, streams every day. But yeah, and by the way, if you do become a member or gift a membership to this channel and the channel gets suspended, I still get it. It's not like, oh, the membership got thrown away. No, I still get it. So I still get the support that I need to operate my business, okay? So it would be great if you were...
Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 money,
oh my.
yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Well, first of all, thank you, Sweet Potato Pies, for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. Second of all, Barrett Wells sent a super chat and says, Pause Game was really showcasing that comb over slick back look. Yeah, the fucking natural grease that falls from Phil's fucking head just to slick back that hair. He honestly just fucking wakes up in the fucking morning, just like throws some water on it, you know, brushes it back, and that's it. Doesn't even fucking shower in the morning, still wearing his fucking pyjamas. And he thinks this is a professional look for him to try and elicit, you know, try and get as much money as he fucking can from his fans by looking so unprofessional, still in his pyjama bottoms, with fucking, you know, sleep still in his eyes. He calls it sand, it's really just a fucking sleep.
Money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
And thank you very much, Kirby Souls, for super chat. It says, one pizza party, that's fun and chill, right? Right? Exactly. I still love the fact that Phil promised us as a free event, and then they regretted it, like, almost immediately. He's like, I kind of promised you guys the pizza party, and I could have put it behind a members goal, couldn't have? And he hated himself for not fucking doing it. He actually suggested doing it without an incentive. Is it, oh, he could have fucking double dipped and charged his fans for this event, and they would have fucking paid money to see, and he would have fucking hit members goals easily. I actually think here, to be honest here, if Phil had not actually suggested doing this for free, this fucking pizza party thing, if he had said to his fucking Denhead fans, look guys, you know what, you want this event to happen, we need to hit this members goal, I think he would have hit it. His Denheads would have loved the idea of, oh, let's make this event happen, it's going to be so fun, we're going to get to watch Phil eat pizza while he plays this nostalgic game, and we get to eat pizza with him and all that shit, it's going to be so much fun and all that shit. They would have fallen for that, they would have absolutely fallen for that big fucking time. But yeah, thank you very much guys for the super chats, and subscription as well by Sweet Potato Pies, thank you, and yeah, let's get on with the bingo. I am like 14 minutes behind almost. I am going to go 1.5 speed, because Phil's going to bore us very soon, I think, with his back in the day story with Street Fighter.
Interested, all right? If you were interested and you stopped doing it for that reason, I would say don't be afraid, all right? Don't. No matter what, it's still going to happen. Everything's still going to be going. Nothing's going to end here. But what will hurt is if now I have literally hundreds to $1,000 less income next month because of this trolling activity. That's going to screw me. It really will. When my payment comes through from YouTube next month and it's like ridiculously less than what I usually get because of fucking trolls doing illegal things against me, that's going to hurt me badly. All right, so I would hope we can avoid that. I would hope that now maybe people will be like, okay, I wanted to do my membership or whatever, I'll still do it. Please do. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is doing a separate special video about this tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna get a special big video, guys. We're gonna get a special big video. Oh, I'm definitely gonna fucking review that tomorrow for a video. I'll make a wee standalone. I'm not even gonna fucking watch it beforehand, but he's gonna make a special big video. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow when I'm working, and when I'm a wee break from work, I can just fucking pull it up and just fucking react to it. Oh, I've got content ready for some pre-prepared content is on standby for tomorrow. I don't even know what it's about, but I know he's gonna be fucking begging hard. Oh, it's gonna be glorious.
Because yeah, we got basically like 1 day left. If people don't become a member in the next 24 hours or so, it won't count for August, and I have to wait a whole other month, and that's gonna really screw me over. And that's not fair. That's just not fair that I get.
There is another solution here, Phil. They don't have to fucking become members. Your YouTube payment also includes super chats. Just fucking beg people to super chat you out the fucking ass. That way they still fucking get what they fucking get from super chatting you in the first place by fucking sending you money via YouTube to send you a fucking message in chat, which is highlighted. Fucking ignore memberships, Phil. Ignore memberships, Phil. Just fucking prioritise massively in super chats. Just say to your fucking fans, look guys, if you can today, super chat me. I would rather have, just fucking for 1 day only, Phil could say, let's have the tip goal be instead of super chat goal. $100 in super chats, you get a fucking hat. $150, you get a fucking vest. For the next 2 days, Phil could fucking prioritise super chats instead of tips for the fucking goals, and that would fucking ensure that his actual fucking YouTube income next month isn't as actual bad. I think it's a very solid idea short term for Phil's current predicament. That would actually lessen the blow slightly for him. But he's not going to do that because he needs tips immediately, instant, immediate financial gratification. Exactly, Stud. But tips help the most right now. Yeah, that's going to be Phil.
I have to be completely nasty, negatively affected by some scumbag breaking the law, you know? And I've had enough. So, hopefully, people will be motivated to become a member now and not have to worry too much about it. Like I said, look at this. It's been almost a week. I'm still here. Nothing's happened. I'm still, you know what I mean? So, I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So, that's all I really want to say about that. All right? Outside of that, thanks for any contributions today. Thanks for any support today. You know the deal. Liking the stream helps. You know, super chat, super stickers, tips, all help. Everything helps. So thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way. All right. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, today is officially the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter. And it was actually funny because Capcom's been talking about this since much earlier this year. And everyone was kind of speculating, what would Capcom do for the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter? Would there be big events and things? Well, the first thing they did was release a final DLC for Street Fighter V. Oh, good for you, whoop-de-doo. The game that everyone says they don't like. So let's release more content for it. No, you know, and of course, the rabid fanboys all ate it up and bought it like usual. And it was funny because within a couple of months of essentially Capcom saying we're not supporting Street Fighter V anymore, we're now fully working on Street Fighter 6, all of a sudden, people start coming out of the woodwork saying, oh yeah, by the way, Street Fighter V wasn't very good. And even Daigo says it. Even, you know, major tournament players, oh yeah, the game's not very good. Where were you the last 7 fucking years? When everyone, you know, was collectively like, wow, this game is very good. But all the pros were like, oh, this is great, man. You got to play it. You got to support it. Because they, again, this is a community now. It's very different than it used to be. This community used to be very outspoken. This community used to be very critical. They used to have balls. The community today is like, just suck the fucking balls of Capcom no matter what. Always say that those in power are doing the right things so you can get ahead, so you can get clickbait views, so you can make money on your stream, so you can keep making money in tournament circuits and get sponsorships, rather than being honest and saying, wow, Street Fighter V was dog shit. The entire run, it was dog shit, and people didn't want to admit it because they wanted to make money. That pisses me off, okay? So, in my opinion, they started off the 35th anniversary.
Let's just get one thing fucking clear here. Let's just set something in fucking stone here. One person's opinion does not make it fucking fact. Look, you can dislike a fucking game if you want, but it doesn't fucking make it true. It doesn't fucking make it reality. Most people in the world will have fucking games that are universally panned and they'll fucking accept they're universally panned games, but you can't fucking tell people what they fucking like and can't like playing. That's just fucking narcissistic as hell, Phil. That's typical you, Phil. Just because you fucking say a game's dog shit, everyone must agree it's dog shit. Call to Alarm's a fucking prime example of this. He thinks it's some fucking fad viral fucking game, it's going to be fucking, you know, its flavour of the fucking day, and no one cares about. Game's got fucking 20,000 views. People are loving this fucking game. I've not fucking played it, but I've heard very good things about the fucking game. There's clearly interest in the fucking game right now. There has been for the last couple of weeks, at least. The interest is still strong. There's like 20k viewers on Twitch at least right now. At any fucking time, there's thousands of people watching people play the fucking game. Phil's fucking strange fucking idea of what a game should be and shouldn't fucking be is fucking strange. Just because it's games that you don't like, Phil. Just because Street Fighter V wasn't a fucking perfect remake or Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo Edition that you fucking exploit and all that shit, it doesn't fucking make it a bad game, it just makes that game you don't fucking like. It's just for fuck's sake, man, I'm just sick of Phil fucking putting forward opinions. He's fucking trying to force his opinions down as fucking solid, concrete fact, and that's not what it is. Just let people enjoy whatever the fuck they want to fucking enjoy, Phil. Stop trying to fucking force your own stupid opinions as actual concrete proof, because that's not what they are. Just fucking make it fucking clear. It's just that you're not a fucking authority in this shit. You haven't been for a long fucking time. You might have been an authority at one small time in America on what, Super Turbo 2 was, because you were actually at one point the best American-based player to exist. Because so many people dropped out and didn't participate. Who knows? But nah, you don't have a fucking say. You're not an authority in the matter, Phil.
Oh, Street Fighter, very poorly. However, then they started releasing information about Street Fighter 6, and I think they've done a really good job with that. So far, the design of the game, the gameplay mechanics, the visuals, what we're learning about how the game's going to play is kind of interesting, and in my opinion, leaps and bounds better than what Street Fighter 5 ever was. Of course, we're very early on, we don't know yet, we'll have to see, but so far, so good, okay? But we're not here to talk about the future of Street Fighter, we're here to talk about the history of Street Fighter. Okay? In particular, what I'd like to do is take a trip down memory lane on today's Level 1 podcast and tell you about my personal experiences growing up and how Street Fighter affected my life. Okay?
I can go 2 times speed if people want, but we might miss things. If we go 2 times speed, you guys need to make sure you're listening out for things like Meaningful, Twitter, There You Go, Unique, all these things. So, if I'm saying that if I go 2 times speed, guys, please make sure you listen out for this, because I tend to sometimes miss it if it goes 2 times speed. It is so fast. most people do want 2 times speed, but it's a risk here. We might miss things. We might actually miss things on the card. I guess I can try and rewind here if need be, but fuck it, we'll try 2 times speed and we'll see how we do. BST says he zones out at 2. Cat Girl Connoisseur wants at 1. Most people want 2, but a couple of people say it's gonna be bad. We'll try it, okay, we'll just try 2 times.
I was a kid. I was heavily into things like video games and comic books and things like that. I had friends at school. I wasn't some antisocial kid, but being that was the stuff I was into, I wasn't into sports. I wasn't into, mainstream things that boys would be known to be into. I was into, video games and comic books and stuff. I had a kind of a small group of friends who was also into that. And I remember playing video games with them at home and everything. It was quite fun to team up with a game on Super Nintendo or whatever. I remember some cooperative games that I did with my friends and stuff over the years. But I didn't even know fighting games existed because, let's be honest, they really didn't until the release of Street Fighter 2. And at the time, basically, the reason that I went to video arcades is interesting because I'm going to tell you the full story about this on Saturday, was Ninja Turtles. I was super fan of Ninja Turtles, everything Ninja Turtles. And my friend told me there was an arcade game of Ninja Turtles, so I went to a video arcade and went, what the hell is this? Why is it so much better than what we play at home on consoles? I couldn't believe the graphical jump, the gameplay leap, it was amazing. So basically what I was doing is I would start going to arcades once a week on the weekends with my dad. My dad would take me. I was young, what was I, like 10 years old, something like that? Not even. Yeah, I was younger than that. And so my dad would take me. My dad at the time, if I remember correctly, was going to school. He was studying to get like a second degree because he was hoping to do something better than just work at the job that he worked at his whole life, well, for a lot of his life. And so what he would do is he would take me to the arcade. And the arcade would have like tables in the back, and he would sit at the tables with his textbooks and do work and study. Hilarious. You know what it sounds like in an arcade? Something like this. And here's my dad trying to do schoolwork in an arcade while I'm there for a few hours a weekend playing games. Can you imagine? I'm not even kidding. I think he brought earplugs, and if I needed him, I'd have to shake him to get his attention to get earplugs in. Because how do you fucking concentrate on anything hearing all that shit, right? So anyway, yeah, props to my dad and shout out to my dad for taking me to the arcade and sitting there. I was a young kid, you don't leave the kid there alone, right? So props to my dad for doing that. And so once a week he would take me, and at that point, I was playing beat 'em ups. I was playing games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade, the Avengers arcade, which was a Spider-Man arcade game that was a beat 'em up.
I'm getting requests to hear that again, because people really enjoyed that at 2 times. Alright, let's look for it. Was it here?
And so my dad would take me. My dad at the time, if I remember correctly, was going to school. He was studying to get like a second degree because he was hoping to do something better than just work at the job that he worked at his whole life, well, for a lot of his life. And so what he would do is he would take me to the arcade, and the arcade would have like tables in the back, and he would sit at the tables with his textbooks and do work and study. Hilarious. You know what it sounds like in an arcade? Something like this. And here's my dad trying to do schoolwork in an arcade while I'm there for a few hours a weekend playing games. Can you imagine? I'm not even kidding. I think he brought earplugs, and if I needed him, I'd have to shake him to get his attention to get earplugs in. Because how do you fucking concentrate on anything hearing all that shit, right? So anyway, yeah, props to my dad and shout out to my dad for taking me to the arcade and sitting there. I was a young kid, you don't leave the kid there alone, right? So props to my dad for doing that. And so once a week he would take me, and at that point, I was playing beat 'em ups. I was playing games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade, the Avengers arcade, which was a Spider-Man arcade game that was a beat 'em up, the Simpsons arcade. Those are the big ones that I was into. And then all of a sudden one weekend, there's a cabinet there, Street Fighter 2. Now I had never heard of Street Fighter 1, so what the hell is Street Fighter 2, right? And people are lined up, and I've never seen people lined up to play a game like this before. Every once in a while people want to play, put your quarter up and you wait your turn. Well, you got one person waiting. This was like 10 people waiting to play. You got people watching people playing. What is going on? What is so exciting about this game? Well, it was because it really was the first one-on-one competitive video game like that in person. Sure, there were Pong and tennis and shit like that. This was something that was action-packed. The graphics were better than anything else in the arcade at the time. 8 unique fighters that all played differently. All right, Ryu and Ken played exactly the same, but 7 unique fighters that played completely differently in the game. And actually encompassed different cultures and genders. To play a female in a game like this was unheard of at the time. It really was. A lot of people don't give Street Fighter the credit it has for actually being groundbreaking, representing cultures from all over the world, albeit in a stereotypical fashion, and the Russian dancing with Zangief and everything, right? And also, the fact that they had a woman in the game that was just as powerful as all the men, right? And it was pretty interesting to see people from all walks of life play Street Fighter 2. Because up to that point, you have teenagers playing, you got kids playing. Now all of a sudden you got adults coming in to play.
Oh, it says unique. Snood caught onto that. Let's rewind it but Snood caught him saying unique. 7 unique fighters apparently.
In the game.
Wait.
8 unique fighters that all play differently.
8 unique fighters. So that's there we go. A lot of us missed that, but Snood caught it. And Train as well. I mean, Train as well, just where you kind of coming in later. But Snood was the first one I saw that said he caught it. So there you go. Thank you guys for keeping me right. I missed that altogether. I'm not going to lie. But thank you guys for keeping an ear out for me. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind pausing and rewinding if we need to. I'm still going to keep it 2 times speed for now. But I don't mind slowing down if I have to later on, but yeah, it's not a bingo, guy. It's not a bingo yet, but it's one step closer to a bingo.
All right, Ryu and Ken played exactly the same, but 7 unique fighters that played completely differently in the game, and actually encompassed different cultures and genders. To play a female in a game like this was unheard of at the time. It really was. A lot of people don't give Street Fighter the credit it has for actually being groundbreaking, representing cultures from all over the world, albeit in a stereotypical fashion, and the Russian dancing with Zangief and everything, right? And also the fact that they had a woman in the game that was just as powerful as all the men. Right? And it was pretty interesting to see people from all walks of life play Street Fighter 2. Because up to that point, you have teenagers playing, you got kids playing. Now all of a sudden, you got adults coming in to play this thing. You got people coming in line up for, guys would come out of work in a fucking suit and tie and put their quarter up and play Street Fighter 2. It was pretty interesting. And you started to see this game explode. It wasn't just at my local arcade, but you started to see Street Fighter 2 at the corner store. You started to see it at the local discount store, at a restaurant. It was everywhere. It was popular shit. And no matter where it was, people were playing it. It was hot as hell, okay? Now, this is when I started regularly going to arcades. And at that point, it was just, I'm just going to casually play some games. It was, I'm playing Street Fighter 2. I remember my dad even making comments like, whatever happened to you like all those other games? Like, nope, Street Fighter 2, man. This is what it's all about. The first game where you want to get better, because if you get better, you win. And if you win, you stay on the cabinet, and you continuously keep playing. It was an unknown concept that you could infinitely play a video game. Up to that point, you put your quarter and you play, till you die, you're off, or you get to the end of the game, you're off. In this game, there's no ending. You literally keep playing infinitely if you're good enough. It was a new concept at the time. So, I remember the early days of Street Fighter 2, that I still remember, I swear to God, I remember the first time I ever played it, alright? There was people who were picking all kinds of humanoid characters, like, I say humanoid because like normal people, like Guile, Chun-Li, Ryu. I selected E Honda, the giant sumo guy. Now everyone's looking at this guy like he's too big of a target. He's gonna get his ass beat. I just started doing jumping roundhouse, and I would time it, so whenever they tried to do something, the jumping roundhouse would interrupt what they did, causing a counter hit state. And in Street Fighter 2, just so you know, in the original game World Warrior, counter hits do insane damage. Like ridiculous over-the-top levels of damage. So if someone's in the middle of doing something, you interrupt it, oh my god, it's like double damage. So I was doing these jump roundhouses, just destroying them. And I remember I went on a win streak. The first day I ever played Street Fighter 2, I had like a 5 to 6 win streak, and my dad watching me playing, he's like, you're winning. How are you winning in a streak like you never played the game before? I was just observing, and based on observations I was making, I was figuring out kind of how to play it. Now, did it work infinitely? Of course it didn't. No, it didn't. People are gonna learn strategy. Okay, I'm just not gonna jump anymore. I'm gonna block it and then try to figure out a way to hit him after the fact or whatever. But it was funny that my first actual time I ever played the game, I went on a win streak. Okay, over the time the game was out, the original Street Fighter 2, I tended to lean towards Blanka. I thought that Blanka was a really cool looking character. He was a beast man, and he was my favorite character in the original game. While a lot of other people started to learn the special moves and gravitate towards characters who throw fireballs to keep people away. I didn't really like that. I liked the fact that he was fast and he was a beast looking character. Admittedly though, Blanka is not good in Street Fighter 2 compared to anyone else.
Guys, it's too fast. I'm sorry, it's too fast. We're going to have to slow it down to 1.5. It's just too fast. I don't want to miss anything.
Any projectile or any kind of a keep away strategy, Blanka basically cannot really hang in that game. And Blanka has a weakness that no one else has. Listen to this. If you do a Blanka ball in original Street Fighter 2 and someone interrupts the Blanka ball with any move, a standing jab, it does insane damage. It's like that's what's supposed to be his weakness, is that you can interrupt the Blanka ball for giant damage. So he's not very good. He's pretty bad. And sadly, I just, as time evolved, I saw more people play the game and change it up. In World Warrior, again, the original Street Fighter 2, there's this exploit you can do where you can you walk up to a character, you get right next to them. Now you have two options. You can keep pressing low short with like Ryu, Ken, or another character who has a fast low short attack. And if it hits, if you keep pressing it, after only like 3 or 4 low shorts comboing into each other, the character dizzies. Yeah, the dizzies are off the scale in the original World Warrior. So then you can immediately get another combo, and essentially you've won the game. Okay? Now the other thing is, if you do low short and they block it, you can do what's called a tick throw, meaning they're stuck in a block stun animation, and you can actually throw them before they can get out of it. It's free. It's a free move, and it does insane damage in the original game. It's like a giant chunk of your energy bar. So this was an almost unbeatable strategy in original World Warrior that everyone was employing back in the day. So it was pretty broken. And then after that, of course, people figured out Guile was the best character in the game and all of that. So then I thought, wow, what's next? Well, little did I know, within a year of the original World Warrior coming out, there was another one called Champion Edition. And this one added in 4 new characters that previously were not playable. They were the boss characters that you could only play against the computer or against, I should say. They weren't playable characters for humans. Now they were all playable. Plus, you could do mirror matches for the first time. I mean, you could do Blanka versus Blanka, Ryu versus Ryu. You could do that in the original World Warrior. And there were 2-player colors that basically added some more to the game, and the original cast of 8 characters were rebalanced. They were made a little bit more different. Like Ryu and Ken changed a little bit more from each other, so they weren't just like palette swaps anymore. And the properties of special moves and things changed a little bit. So essentially, this was the first DLC patch ever for a video game, like ever. Console games didn't get them. Other arcade games didn't get them. This was the debut of an actual update to an existing game. You didn't have to buy a whole new game to have this on your arcade cabinet. It was a chip, an actual chip that you would add to the game to make it updated and have this new content. Okay. Now, Street Fighter 2 continued. There was Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Super Street Fighter 2, then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, okay? But here's what happened. Once Hyper Fighting came out, my local arcade decided they wanted to diversify. Like, damn, we already spent all this money on 3 different Street Fighter games. We should definitely be buying other stuff. And around this time was when the Mortal Kombat craze started. So my local arcade started getting Mortal Kombat games and other things to compete. And at that time, the attention shifted from Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat and other fighting games. And at that time, my local arcade guy who owned the arcade, his name was Neil. My dad knew him because he actually went to the arcades with me and he met the guy and everything. Basically said, there's all these different versions of Street Fighter 2. I'm going to stop buying them for now. I'm going to get other games. And then if, something new really comes out for Street Fighter, I'll buy it. But I don't want to keep updating the same game over and over. It's too many updates to the same game. So I never played Super Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo when I was growing up in arcades. Never. Seriously. Like, Hyper Fighting was where I stopped playing. And then I went into Mortal Kombat and those games. And then Street Fighter came back with the Alpha series. Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, 3 were the games that I played next in the Street Fighter series. This took the Street Fighter 2 style gameplay to the next level, giving it a more anime-ish look, introducing game mechanics like chain combos, and also things such as custom combos, meaning you can activate by using your super meter a combo. You could chain certain moves together for extended combos that you couldn't normally do in the normal game. Okay, it was a really good series. Although, admittedly, I do feel that each game kind of had shortcomings. Like the original game, it wasn't very balanced, and the chain combos were way overpowered. In the second game, the custom combos were really well done, and I liked the graphics and the character selection. But again, it was kind of unbalanced. There were a few characters that were way better than the rest of the cast. And in Street Fighter Alpha 3, you guys know my feelings on that. That game is completely and utterly broken, where there's only like 5 characters that are even worthy to be played in a tournament, and most of them are V-ism, meaning the custom combo ism, where you can just keep doing these shadow combos, no one can break out of them. It's kind of a one-trick pony style of game. Even though they attempted to throw so much into it, it was all completely wasted. So, the Alpha series I like, all right, but definitely original Street Fighter 2 had a lot more to it and was more formative in my mind than the Alpha series, okay? For me, where Street Fighter really exploded was the Versus series. Although admittedly, the Versus series isn't mainstream Street Fighter. It was always Street Fighter versus something, right? So it was like X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Then it became Marvel versus Capcom, where they added in other characters that were from Street Fighter. But for me, that was the era, like that was the heyday of competitive fighting games for me. My local arcade had all of them. Every Versus game was there, was played in droves, you know, went to tournaments and started playing. For me, I was always the local guy who just sat around and played at his local arcade, maybe went to the mall every once in a while, but that was really it. And then, that was the time in my life when I had friends who were gamers in the arcade who tried to convince me to leave Connecticut, where I used to live, and travel outside of the state and start playing Street Fighter competitively. And I've already talked about it very much in detail, that it was my friend T. Carter, who was motivated by our mutual friend Scott to basically start traveling and go to tournaments or whatever. I'm not
Who said that he was going to bring up tea? Somebody in chat said he's going to bring up tea, and I thought, surely not. Surely he's not going to fucking bring up his, you know, the guy he knew from Street Fighter that kind of got killed. He's actually brought up his, you know, his former Street Fighter associate person. They got gunned down. Jesus Christ. Or stabbed, whatever. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. I know he got killed, but I don't know how. But aye. He brought up tea.
I'm not going to go into massive detail about that today, because this is a little bit more about the history of Street Fighter and me rather than, you know, the history of all my friends and everything. And I've already talked about them a lot, okay? So, eventually what happened was, over the course of the 90s, I went from a kid who was going to arcades just to play beat-em-up games, to a kid who got used to playing in front of a crowd, performing at a competitive level, getting better and better at a fighting game that I didn't know would ever really amount to anything in my life. I just thought it was a hobby that I like to do once or twice a week on the weekends. And
Kid Flim is in the chat. He made a very cursed video. You guys might not be aware, but Kid Flim made an extremely cursed fucking video. In fact, I might pull it up for you guys. In fact, that's a bad phrasing. That's kind of bad phrasing saying to pull it, because the video is... Is it still on YouTube, by the way? Has it been muted yet by Karen? No, it's not. This is Kid Flim's latest work, ladies and gentlemen. I'll link it for you guys in the chat. Feel free to give it a like. But yeah, this is well, just prepare yourselves.
What is up, everyone? Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
So yeah, Kid Flim inflicted that on our eyes earlier on. And just a reminder, if you want to, I'll definitely recommend it. Kid Flim is a great wee artist, not, you know, but so support his content, guys, you know, support his content. There's a link to his channel, the video even, you know, so give it a like and all that. Share it with your friends and family. Show it to your mother or something, you know. I'm sure that, you know, she would enjoy that kind of amazing kind of content. Yeah, absolutely. We got to support other detractors here doing their best here to make some, you know, compelling content. So yeah, highly recommend it to you guys. There you go. Sorry, Kid Flim, I just had to share that with the masses. It was too good not to.
then as I got older and I became a teenager and I started being able to do things for myself, I decided that I wanted to start traveling competitively to play Street Fighter. And this is when I started to become part of the Street Fighter community. I started reading forum posts and posting up on things like internet web forums that were for Street Fighter tournaments and combos and the like. I started going on MIRC and talking chat rooms for Street Fighter and stuff like that. This was before even ShoryuKen.com existed, okay? And then I started traveling to events that weren't just locals, but like things that were big. So instead of me just going to my local arcade or the local mall and playing a tournament there, I would go to Dunedin, New Jersey and participate at the East Coast Championships, which is the biggest tournament held on the East Coast of the United States, you know, and try to represent Connecticut as a whole. And that's really where my eyes were open, because keep in mind, there was no internet sharing of videos or streams back then. It was literally people posting up on forums or chat rooms about tournaments and what was happening in them. So you didn't really understand competitively what could be done in these games until you saw it in person. So finally, leaving Connecticut and going to in-person tournaments outside of the state completely opened my eyes up to the possibilities of what these games could be. I was exposed to gameplay styles and strategies and things that I didn't fathom could be done competitively in any kind of a Street Fighter capacity. I remember going not only to that, but I went to New York City, Chinatown Fair, hanging out with my friends, driving out there, and then Connecticut versus New York, in this big tournament level mentality and stuff like that, right? It's pretty neat. And then eventually, this branched out into me becoming a known player on the internet. Not necessarily for good reasons. I was the big shit talker. I was the big asshole. I was the guy who had the balls and the audacity to talk shit to everyone, no matter who they were, saying that I would face them and I wasn't afraid to face them. I would take on giant money matches at tournaments and lose all my money because I never won. I don't think I ever really won. In my whole time that I was playing competitive Street Fighter, I can't even remember a single time I won a big money match. Every time it was about, oh, let's play for a couple $100, I would lose. Every time. Without fail, I would fucking lose. Okay? So, at that time, I was known as the shit talker, the asshole, the shit stirrer, you know. And I've already gone into my history of Street Fighter. You know, I don't need to really go into that further. I've already explained it kind of in detail. But that was interesting because it was like, that was the thing in my life going on. Outside of that, I mean, yeah, I had school. Yeah, I had jobs. But really, it was all for, let's just get to the time when I could go play competitive Street Fighter, when I could go to my arcade and beat the locals, and I could go to a tournament, and I could go, you know, to ECC, and I could go and travel, and I could talk shit and do all this stuff. Excuse me. But what's funny about all of that is, you know, I wouldn't say I was actually top-level tournament player until the mid-2000s, which is weird, because really, I played the most in the early 2000s, when I was playing the Versus series, games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Super Heroes vs. Capcom, Marvel Super Heroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. Those were the games I focused on the most, played the most, and liked the most. And I never really did that well in them. Yes, I sometimes won locals in them. Yes, I sometimes would place like top 5, top 10 at a major tournament in them. But I never was the best. And I always would kind of, at the end, when I had a chance to do something great, I would choke and be disappointed. And of course, my shtick was like I raged or whatever at Street Fighter when I lost. It was part of my character back then. So basically, it wasn't until the mid-2000s. And in the mid-2000s, here's what happened. And here's how we kind of come full circle back to Street Fighter and its roots. As I told you guys, I never played Super Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo because my local arcade never got them, right? Well, what ended up happening was during the early half of the 2000s when I was traveling to play the Versus series, they would also have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo at every tournament I went to. And I would start playing it and I was like, wow, I like it. Like, I actually really like where this game went. I never played it in the 90s, which sucks that I missed out when it was in its heyday. But this game's quite good. I like how they balance the game. Each character has all these different tools. Each character can be played in different ways. It's not like it's a one-trick pony. You can only play in one pattern. There's various different ways to play each character, which is nice. A lot of times in these games, oh, the character can only be played this one way, and that's it. That's not how the game was, okay? And I really started to like the game. And so, switch over to another picture here. What ended up happening was I started to appreciate the classics over the modern games. And that was actually a time where instead of focusing on games like the Versus series, I said, I'm going to do other stuff and start maybe playing Super Turbo more and focus more on this. Now, what's funny was, in the 2000s, there was a fighting game crash. What I mean by that is by 2001, 2002, Capcom had decided to actively stop making fighting games. They started focusing on Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and other series, like the Mega Man, what was the mobile series they made? Mega Man, was it Battle Network? I think something like that. So they started focusing in on all of that and kind of said, nah, Street Fighter's kind of falling out of prominence. And they let other companies like Midway and Namco continue to make their series of Tekken and Mortal Kombat, while they basically had Street Fighter completely go on the back burner and not become any kind of a major focus anymore, okay? So during that era, I was playing the Versus series, and then I got into Super Turbo. This was the era in mid-2000s when on a whim, one year, I was like, man, I want to go to EVO, and I really don't have any money, and I just maxed out all my credit cards, taking out those fucking cash on-demand loans and things you can do against credit cards and stuff, which completely ruined me financially. It was a really stupid thing to do, but on that budget, I went to EVO that year. I learned Super Turbo on the PS1 version. I ended up getting 4th place at EVO, being the top-ranked American in the entire country that year for Super Turbo. And that became kind of like, that was like my second wave in competitive Street Fighter. My first wave was me trying to play the Versus series and kind of failing and not doing so well. My second wave was really the mid-2000s, 2005, 6, and 7, playing Super Turbo and its other variations, and actually doing quite well. Not only was I winning most major events that I was entering, but I had at some points I was qualifying multiple times to enter EVO qualifiers. To enter EVO finals. I was winning EVO qualifiers, and I became a highly respected tournament organizer on the East Coast of the United States. I was running tournaments in the whole tri-state area, in Connecticut, in New York, and places like that. I was organizing and running events. People really appreciated me doing that because at this point, this was all before Street Fighter 4. This was still Street Fighter 1, 2, Alpha, and 3. There was no Street Fighter 4 yet. Okay, so this was all grassroots shit. There were no big prizes. There was no sponsorship. It was just people out of the kindness of their heart dedicating their time to try to run these events. I never made a single dollar of profit ever running a tournament or attending a tournament and placing. Never. I never made any money. It was always I spent money. It was always an investment. Okay.
Oh, we can tell he's a bit salty and bitter about that. I was like, oh, imagine if he was fucking doing a tournament at EVO today and all that shit and he got 4th place. He would get some decent money for 4th place these days, whatever, for a fucking big fighting game thing. It's just a shame that fucking esports became a big massive thing these days compared to fucking 15, 20 years ago. Boo fucking who, Phil? Boo fuckity who? It was an investment. It wasn't a fucking investment. That's what I'm saying. He's calling it a fucking investment. Investment in fucking what? It was a fucking loss. It was a financial loss. Unless he thinks the investment is getting fucking the #1 ranked American US fucking Super Turbo player. That might, well, he actually might consider that an investment because he got that fucking title. Put that on your fucking grave, Phil. As Mike Watson said. 4th place, not even a fucking bronze trophy. Yeah, give him the fucking dirt trophy. You got gold, silver, bronze, and then dirt. Well done, Phil. Have a dirt trophy.
So, over the years, Street Fighter was kept alive in the 2000s by grassroots movements. Not just me, of course. It was tons of people all over the country. Organizers who really deep down love Street Fighter. When Capcom had abandoned it and said, we tried 1, 2, 3, and they all did pretty good, but we decided to now put our efforts into other franchises like Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, it was really the competitive community that kept it alive for almost a decade with no help from Capcom whatsoever. All right? And then Street Fighter really saw a reinvigoration in the year 2008, 2009 with the release of Street Fighter 4. Now, what prompted Capcom to change their mind about a whole decade of basically kind of ignoring Street Fighter? I don't know. But they did. And man, did they ever decide to flip their attitudes. They started investing in this game, making it look modern, right? For the first time, having really modernized graphics for the time, running really well both on arcade and console. Modernizing the games to have some really interesting things in them, like, you know, new mechanics, FADC, right? Focus attack dash canceling, and just focus attacks in general. Adding a new flair to mainstream Street Fighter gameplay that had always been tried and true 2D gameplay. It was quite interesting, and it was a reinvigoration. Like, at that time, Street Fighter had been all but dead. And then boom, Street Fighter became so prominent again. And not only Street Fighter, but because of the release of Street Fighter 4 being so big and successful, it literally reinvigorated the entire fighting game industry as a whole. The whole genre got like a big stim pack injection into the ass, right? Mortal Kombat, which had become this kind of watered down, over convoluted, silly, casual game on consoles, now all of a sudden decided to reboot with a new trilogy that would be more competitive and more seriously taken again. Tekken saw a reinvigoration, making a whole new game, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, right? It had been so long since Tekken had a spin-off game, and now they're making another one for the first time in like almost 10 years. So it was pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting to be around at that time. And for me, you know, at this point, I had kind of retired from competitive Street Fighter play. I had a big run, 2005, 6, and 7, where I was a prominent guy in the Street Fighter community. And I was like, you know, it was time for me to kind of reassess my life and say, listen, I travel all over the country, right? I've met people from all walks of life. People even not even from this country, from Canada, from Japan, from Europe. I met them all.
I can just fucking cut through the fucking explanation and fucking make it perfectly clear. He went to tournaments. He didn't do as well as he wanted. He got fucking broke. He went and fucking got in massive debt. He started YouTube, it bailed him out, and he thought, okay, fuck this, YouTube's getting me money, I'm not that good at Street Fighter, I can't afford to fucking keep losing so much money in Street Fighter, both fucking not getting money from tournaments, and also losing so much fucking money in money matches that you keep getting your ass handed to you every single fucking time. Fucking, he got himself in so much fucking debt that first time, and Machinima bailed him out. He had a fucking miracle with Machinima bailing him out that fucking first time. He should have been fucking bankrupt in 2012. In my opinion. If Machinima had not come along, he would have been fucking bankrupt. Because he got himself into so much fucking debt.
Hung out with them, played against them. I've participated in tournaments, I've placed in tournaments, I've won tournaments, I've run tournaments, right? What is there really left to do in the realm of Street Fighter? And so for me in 2007, after having attended EVO, and kind of coming home, and sitting down and doing some soul searching, I kind of decided that was going to be it for me for competitive Street Fighter. Like, I don't really see the point in investing all my time and efforts into this when really what's going to happen with it? Nothing. Now, did I foresee that Street Fighter 4 was going to blow up and was going to change fighting games and now bring them to the mainstream of esports with competitive sponsorships and teams? No, I never saw any of that happen. So I kind of retired and stopped putting effort into it. And that's when I became a more mainstream gamer, started playing all casual games, started making videos on YouTube in 2008. That's when I became a YouTuber around that time frame, okay? And then when 2009 came out and Street Fighter 4 came out, I was like, aha, I can implement my background of playing Street Fighter in arcades in the 90s and tournaments in the 2000s, and I can transfer that over, that knowledge of fundamentals and the history of Street Fighter, and I can turn that into something for content creation on YouTube. And for as many pro players at the time, in 2009, 2010, that were trying to get noticed on YouTube for being good at Street Fighter, I was the guy who was not a pro player, but I was known for entertaining, for playing Street Fighter 4 at an entertaining level, putting out sets that weren't necessarily the highest level gameplay, but were still fun to watch. And a lot of people told me at the time they were just directly influenced to buy and play Street Fighter because they watched my videos. That wasn't really the intention that I had. I was just trying to have a fun time with content creation. It wasn't my job at the time. It was a hobby. I was making no money on it. I was just dicking around, showing, you know, my history of Street Fighter transformed into a new game that had just come out. But people loved it, you know. And that actually gave me a big boost in my early YouTube career, is having this group of people who were around just to watch me play Street Fighter stuff. Now, of course, what happened? Over the years, Street Fighter evolved and changed. Street Fighter 4 went from the original vanilla to Super. I liked Super Street Fighter 2. But then they came out with Arcade Edition. Then they came out with the next one and the next one. And every time that they updated it, it was frustrating for me, because I was not a full-time dedicated Street Fighter player anymore. In the 2000s, I was. Now I wasn't. I was balancing my real-life job with my hobby of content creation and then Street Fighter. So having my attention pulled in so many different directions, I didn't really want to keep relearning the same game a million times like I had the patience to do back in the day. So after like 3 iterations of Street Fighter 4, I kind of get bored with it. I was like, you know, if they ever really, you know, do something interesting, maybe I'll care, but it's the same game again. They add in a new character or two, they rebalance it and change it, and then every once in a while they even add in a character I like Hakan. Wow, Hakan's unique and interesting. He's very hard to play.
But if you take the time and you master him, you can do well. I proved as much entering a tournament and beating a player that was very well known in my area for being a Guile player, and I beat his ass with Hakan on stream, and everyone laughed their asses off that me, who was known as kind of a washed up Street Fighter player, beat the shit out of this local guy who was supposed to be really good, okay? But the problem was, what Capcom started doing was listening to the feedback of people who maybe necessarily weren't the best to listen to, and they kept changing the game balance and fucking it up. In my opinion, like, they had one build of the game. Fei Long was insanely broken. Everything he did was completely safe. He had hit strings where he could do a million moves, completely safe, can't be punished for anything he does. If he hits, he does insane damage. But you can't stop him. He has too much priority, he's too fast, too crazy combos, too safe. How's this a fun game? Why did they do that? Because people complained Fei Long sucked in other versions of the game. Same thing with Hakan. Everyone complained Hakan was too hard to play and was basically a joke character, so they changed him. He didn't even play like a character, the old character anymore. His entire build was changed. I went to use him, I was like, I don't want to use him now. Now it's like they made it, put a different character in the game. I hated the changes they made. So for me, I didn't really like the game in its later stages, and I kind of fell out of love with Street Fighter again, okay? But Street Fighter remained white hot popular, and then they had Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which got white hot popular, and then there was Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Oops. And this was kind of the beginning of the downfall for Capcom, being a big misstep. A game that relied on a gem system that no one wanted or cared about in a fighting game, had on-disc DLC that needed to be paid for to unlock, even though it was already in the game you already bought. This was the beginning of the slippery slope issues for Capcom that carried all the way into Street Fighter V's development. Terrible design choices, really bad marketing, really bad polish. Like, the game was just a joke. And I could go on and on about Street Fighter V, but I'm not going to, because as you guys know, unlike everything up to that point, Street Fighter 2 gave me my formative history as a competitive player and gave me the confidence to play in front of audiences. Street Fighter Alpha refined the formula and made me see how interesting and different and competitive these games could be. Street Fighter 3, to some extent, was the temporary retirement of Street Fighter because it didn't do as well as the previous games. Street Fighter 4 completely reinvigorated Street Fighter for me at a time when I basically retired from competitive play and made it interesting again for me, traveling to tournaments and making content on YouTube for it, okay? This game tanked it for me, really. It just showed that they wanted to focus on all the wrong things, didn't care about the quality of their game, only cared about making a buck and hype, and that pissed me off. You know, that's why I didn't like Street Fighter V its entire length of time. I've told you a million reasons why. I'm not going to go into it right now, all right? But if you look at the history of Street Fighter as a whole, all right, what an anomaly. Because it started off as a game that was terrible. Street Fighter 1 is trash. It's a game where the gameplay elements are shit, the controls are shit, the voices are shit, and it's an interesting concept that was never really fleshed out to the point where it was a good game, right? The fact that Street Fighter 2 was even made is remarkable, because the first game wasn't good. But they put more time in it. They said, you know what? We're going to refocus our efforts. We're going to try to make something truly good. And they blew it out of the park, making something so revolutionarily different from anything else you could play in games at that time. It really created a whole genre that to this day is still one of the biggest genres in competitive gaming, right? And let me tell you, again, these were my formative years as a person and a gamer. If Street Fighter 2 didn't exist, I don't know if I ever would have had the confidence to ever do anything in front of an audience like I do today. Maybe I never would have been able to stand in front of you here live on stream, the hundreds of you that are here, and speak. Maybe I wouldn't have been able... When I used to have, an office job at a helicopter company, to stand in front of the all-hands meeting for the company and speak in front of the whole company about new things we were doing, new processes, projects I was working on, right? Maybe I would crack under pressure, which, to this day, is something important for me to not do. When I'm playing a video game and I'm trying to finish, I mean, take a look at me playing games like Elden Ring, right? Facing super bosses, Millennia and shit, you know? If I didn't have the nerves that I have today, because I played competitive Street Fighter, maybe I wouldn't have ever had that. On the flip side of that, there's a whole other aspect to it. Think about, in the time frame of the late 90s, all through the 2000s when I was traveling to play Street Fighter, okay? I went to places such as the entirety of the East Coast. We're talking Connecticut, New Jersey, New Hampshire, New York, Vermont, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, all that chunk of the East Coast. I traveled and met people from all different walks of life and all different cultures, all who love Street Fighter. I went south, Virginia, Georgia, Florida. I went west from there, Texas. I went to the Midwest, Chicago area. I went to Las Vegas multiple times, Nevada, California multiple times, all right? Again, met people from all over the place. And then when there was the reinvigoration, I went to Nashville, Tennessee to play, right? And that was about 10 years ago. So think about all these places I traveled. Would I ever have gone to those places if it weren't for Street Fighter? Probably not, right? Would I have met the variety of people and seen the hospitality that is the country of the United States of America if it weren't for Street Fighter? Not likely, okay? And I'm grateful for those experiences in my life. I am, even though I criticized them. And here's why I criticized them. Because when I was traveling for Street Fighter, I was in this tunnel vision mindset. It was, I'm going to travel and I'm playing Street Fighter. That's why I'm here. That's my focus. Everything else is periphery. So I went to Las Vegas multiple times. I never set a single foot onto the Las Vegas Strip, even though I was there physically multiple times in my lifetime. Why? Because I'm a fucking idiot. Because I was young, stupid, and I had tunnel vision. All I thought about was competitive Street Fighter, right? And the same thing can be said for the other places I went. There was grand opportunities for me to do tourism and things like that, and I really never did. I mean, I went to Texas, and the couple times I went to Texas for Street Fighter, guess what I ate? Fast food. I never ate Texas barbecue. Why? Because I was a fucking idiot. I was just Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter. That's all I cared about. So, do you see the point? Like, I would go to these places but not take advantage because that was me, my dumb-ass, immature mindset. Today, my God, are you crazy? If I went to these places, I would take advantage of everything while I was there, and I never really did that, you see? So, all that being said, I'm very grateful for the people I met, for the experiences I've had, and honestly, for kind of the life-changing experience I've gotten playing Street Fighter over the course of my life. You say it's the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter. I'm 40 years old. Admittedly, I didn't play the original Street Fighter in arcades, but Street Fighter 2 was in the early 90s, right? So you're talking, for me, probably about 30-some years of my life, Street Fighter's been a part of it. That's insane to think about. It really is. And that's why it's cool when I see, wow, Street Fighter 6 is coming out, and I can get hype again, because I was so disappointed by this stinker right here. And now to feel like, maybe, you know, to some extent, there could be Street Fighter as a part of my life again, right? You know, once a week, I play old school Street Fighter in the Capcom Fighting Collection, and previously it was the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. And people say to me, Phil, why on earth do you still play Street Fighter once a week? The connections are bad, the collections aren't perfect, right? You complain, and you call out the shortcomings of these games every time you play them. Why play them? This is why, all right? Because Street Fighter is in my blood, because Street Fighter is my history as a gamer and as a person. If it weren't for this franchise, I would not be the person I am here today in front of you guys. You know, and every time I play it, I feel nostalgic. I get a sense of positivity and fun and, you know, kind of almost a feel-good moment to play a competitive match of Street Fighter where you tough it out and you actually win at the end. Like, wow, it's just like every other time. It takes me right back into the days when I used to be in arcades doing that in front of an audience at a major tournament or whatever. It's exciting. It's
Slim saying we've heard a shit a million times before anyway. I'd rather fast forward a shit anyway. I can't. I mean, I don't want to say anything because I might say one of these fucking dumb bingo things. But let me sum up for you why fucking keeps playing Street Fighter fucking once a fucking week, every single fucking week, of every single fucking month, every single fucking year. He does this all the fucking time because he has to fucking hark back to the one small fucking successful thing he's ever done in his fucking life. Fourth place at EVO was a fucking pinnacle of this man's fucking life. This was the absolute summit for him. He's fucking done YouTube shit, and what's he fucking done successfully in YouTube? The only fucking thing he can brag about is the fucking length of time he's been on there. He's fucking stagnated at over 100,000 fucking subs for so long. He struggled for almost a decade at least to break into fucking 200,000 subscribers. He has fucking stagnated so much as a content creator. He fell behind the times. He didn't fucking catch on to when he fucking should be doing certain things like direct, you know, fucking direct capture and all that shit. He was trying to pass off fucking excuses like, oh, I'm not going to direct capture. I'll do a fucking point a camera at TV because it's like I've got you guys with me, beside me. It's like you're fucking sitting down on the couch next to me, watching a friend play the fucking game. That was his excuses for not doing direct capture and fucking having a fucking camera pointed at his TV while he sat on his fucking couch in his tiny wee living room in that Connecticut condo. This was it. This is fucking. He was pined so much in the times. He never adapted. He never fucking thrived. You know, he put off live streaming because he thought it was some fucking stupid fad where people fucking interrupt their gameplay every fucking 2 seconds to fucking give a shout out for somebody giving a few pennies on stream and all that shit. He ridiculed the shit out of that. He has said in the past, Phil was like, this is dumbass Phil talking back in like 2012 or something. He's like, I'm never going to be one of these guys that fucking sits on a fucking, like, you know, stream and beg people for money and all that shit. It's so much funny. I would love past Phil to fucking be confronted with what he's like today. He would neck himself. At fucking 2012, Phil could fucking see what he becomes. He would fucking throw himself off a fucking bridge. He's like, you'd be like, where's fucking Liana? Oh, she left you. You're married to this fucking dumpy looking fucking whale now. She likes potatoes too much. You'd be like, what the fuck? I had a young fan in Liana and she loved me and I fucking threw that away. And now and Twitch banned me and Mashirima got rid of me and there's no more Mashirima, and he would kill himself probably, man. He would hate it. But as I'm saying, Phil never adapted and Phil never thrived. As I'm saying, PewDiePie watched DSP as well as other people in the past, and PewDiePie became one of the biggest YouTubers in the world because he not only did he adapt, he thrived, and he fucking got with the times, and he basically did things himself which other people weren't doing, that people, you know, clicked onto and resonated with. I don't watch PewDiePie shit, you know what I mean? But I can respect the hustle. PewDiePie made something for himself. He's set for life, PewDiePie. He did that pretty much on his own initiative and whatever, you know, and you know, fair play to him. You know, when someone fucking cracks, you know, gets the fucking YouTube lottery of making it big, you know, well done to them. That's what I say. Phil can't handle it though. Phil's like, you know, this is a guy, I'm jealous of him, and he's admitted he's jealous of him because this is a guy that fucking saw what I was doing, then done it better than him. He just can't. That's what I'm saying. So this is why I fucking play Street Fighter every single fucking week, every single fucking month, every single fucking year. And he'll keep fucking doing it because this is the one fucking positive, successful moment he's ever had in his fucking life. YouTube for him, you can't really call it success, so when a fucking channel stagnated so fucking much, and the only fucking bragging thing you've got to say about your fucking YouTube channel is the fact that you've been on it for fucking 14 years. Hell, I've had this fucking channel for over a decade. This fucking YouTube channel is over a decade old. And? So fucking what? I mean, it's just, that's it. Big fucking deal. Phil's trying to fucking say it's some kind of fucking badge of honour. I've had this fucking channel for so fucking long. So fucking what? Big fucking deal. What have you done with it? What have you done with the fucking channel? That's the main thing. What are your fucking success stories with the fucking channel? That is the big main thing to focus on. Not a fucking length of time. It's unbelievable, man. Christ, man, I've been making fucking videos online since like fucking 2005, 2006, 2004 even, shit, man, I'm gonna go back to 2004. Just a variety of different means and methods, man. Anyone remember Putfile? Anyone remember uploading videos to Putfile? That's a very old, outdated reference. I used to fucking upload shit to Putfile, and then Putfile disappeared and all that fucking shit vanished. I'm annoyed about that, but there you go. Christ, man. This wee face, man, this is such a sad wee DSP face. His little nostalgia face. I play Street Fighter because it's the one thing I was semi-decent at. Please let me have that. Let me remember how semi-decent I was at a video game for so long ago.
Fun. And you know, times change. They do. A lot of the people who back in the day I used to hang out with playing these games either don't do it anymore or they're not even with us. You know, last few years, a lot of people who I used to know from the fighting game days passed away. And that's really sad to know that we've lost awesome people who I met along the way who were really great positive people on this planet. And to know that at least in some extent that me playing old school Street Fighter once a week can maybe hold on to those memories, right? Can show to the world. These
Money, yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Black Mage 666 for the super chat. It says, following Phil's logic, his account, you know, Black Mage says his account is better than Phil's since he made it in 2005. I would argue so. You've had a YouTube account since 2005. That is a, 17-year legacy? Very impressive. 17-year YouTube account legacy for Black Mage 666. Extremely impressive stuff indeed. Phil's actually about to fucking try and use dead people to justify him playing this game. I need to rewind this, I really do, but it looks like he's trying to use dead people again to try and milk some, you know, reasoning as to why he plays this game.
don't do it anymore or they're not even with us. You know, last few years, a lot of people who I used to know from the fighting game days passed away. And that's really sad to know that we've lost awesome people who I met along the way who were really great positive people on this planet. And to know that at least in some extent that me playing old school Street Fighter once a week can maybe hold on to those memories, right? Can show to the world, these are the games that I grew up with and meant something to me, to maybe give some history to these games and show you where they stand out in gaming history. That's kind of meaningful, you know? And so maybe it's worth it to tough through the tryhards and to tough through the lag and to tough through the bullshit, you know? And so people ask me, Phil, will you ever play Street Fighter competitively again? You know, I'm a realist. All right, and my answer to that is probably not. I'm probably never going to again. I'm 40 years old. I have a family now. I'm very happy with my job as I do it and where it is. I have no desire to start traveling the country, flying all around to play Street Fighter anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to be, seriously, the biggest, most hyped reason for me to come out of hiding, essentially, to play competitive Street Fighter again, and it would be a lot of work. I would have to really, like, what I would literally do, I would have to try to reach out to a few people in the Street Fighter community who I haven't talked to in a million years, and see if I could get people interested and invested in a series of get-togethers where we could actually start playing again and get good, so that I could actually do anything competitive. Because I feel like if I just went to a tournament now, this would happen to me. It's a spanking. It's what we used to do back in the day. Like, oh, you just got spanked. That, like, I don't play the games competitively anymore. That's literally what would happen. I would have to really get back into shape. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's not. Let me put it this way: it's not completely and utterly off the table. And also, with the newer games coming out, like Street Fighter 6, is there ever a chance that there's going to be a new Street Fighter that will really get me hooked so much that I'll want to play it competitively? I have no idea. All right, but again, for me, it's kind of like, I've kind of been there, done that. I've seen it. I've seen what competitive Street Fighter can be. At this point, I have no aspirations to be a high-end competitive player. I don't want to get sponsored. I don't want to join a team. I don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I have my own brand as it is. I don't need to be part of a fucking team to be notable and shit. You know, for me, maybe one day, but I doubt it. I'm getting so old at this point. I guess it really depends on what happens with Street Fighter 6. What's funny is the same kind of questions were thrown at me during the times when Street Fighter 5 hadn't come out yet and was being promoted. And I answered the same way. I said, if there's ever a new fighting game, maybe it's Street Fighter 5, that will be good and reinvigorate, maybe I'd be interested. And boy, Street Fighter 5 did exactly the opposite for me, right? But it's not off the table completely. So that's what Street Fighter means to me. And you know what's funny is, I feel like you could ask anyone who's been involved with fighting games over the years this kind of a question. Like, what does it mean to you? What was your history with it? I bet if you ask Maximilian Dude, right? And if you ask Justin Wong, or if you ask one of the OGs like Alex Valle, right? Or you ask any of these guys from over the years, and you ask them what does it mean to them, they're all gonna have a completely different story. Because that's kind of the cool thing about Street Fighter. It's been around for so long that even, you know, people who you think are from the same time period may have completely different stories and influences about it to tell you guys. You know what I mean? So I would even say today is the 35th anniversary. I would wonder if anyone else out there is doing something similar to this, like reminiscing like I am, to tell their history with fighting games and Street Fighter in general, and see, you know, how different their perspective is on it than mine. You know, kind of interesting. But anyway, happy 35th anniversary Street Fighter. Thank you for being an important part of my life. Thank you for being a formative part of my early years. And as silly as it was in the 2000s when I was kind of like so tunnel vision into Street Fighter, I'm still grateful for those experiences that I had, the people I met, the places I traveled, and to the fact that that experience in a competitive game transferred over to things in the essentially second half of my life here is kind of cool. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm never going to forget those old school experiences. At the same time, you know, my life ain't over. There's still time for fun stuff to happen in Street Fighter. I don't know what it would be. I don't know if it's going to be Street Fighter 6 or whatever, right? But pretty cool, right? Pretty awesome. Thanks for listening. All right.
Seriously, that's the end. It didn't even fucking read out contributions. Hold on. Nah, I think it's a fake out. I think it's a fake out.
Oh, I'm just kidding. No, that's not the end of the show.
Yeah, okay, it's a fucking fake out. Okay, what a fucking arsehole. I always skip the fucking outro. I always just skip the outro in case someone tries to fucking, you know, super hound me and claim that shit as like, oh, this is our content and jump. Fuck off. I always skip the goddamn outro. Damien Anderson's asking, was this rant the biggest excuse for him not to play Street Fighter 6? No, he's definitely going to play Street Fighter 6. There's no way he is not going to play Street Fighter 6. I guarantee he's going to play Street Fighter 6, man. I'd be amazed. It would have to take something incredible happening, like every single fucking advanced copy review just pans the game as being dog shit, like Saints Row, the new Saints Row game. It would have to have similar kind of reviews to the new Saints Row kind of game. For him to fucking do a fucking, you know, 360 in that shit, technically, sorry, for him to do a 180 in it. If he does a fucking 360, he's just fucking staring at the same fucking spot. A 180 to go the other way. You'd have to go fucking do a 180 to say I'm not playing that game anymore. Fucking says 360, man, I'm a dumbass.
I was just teasing. Okay, that's all really I had to say for my major segment. So, let's do shout-out, shall we? Okay. So, it looks like Multiverses Sucks Play Nickelodeon Brawl did a $2 super chat, which is hilarious, because even anyone who played Nickelodeon Brawl who's competitive agreed the game is terrible. They said, wow, this game is not meant to be competitive, it's a party game for kids. As opposed to Multiverses is actually trying to be a competitive game, but thank you for the super chat. Pausen re-upped their membership at 8 months. Thank you very much, Pausen. Appreciate that. Kuri did a $2 super chat. Says, for the pizza party, are you getting local or chain pizza? I'm not going to spoil. Let's just say, all right, I'm definitely going to get pizza that I feel would be worthy of the Ninja Turtles. That's all I'm going to say. So you take...
Weren't Pizza Hut sponsors one time of the Ninja Turtles? I'm pretty sure Pizza Hut kind of had some kind of sponsorship deal with Ninja Turtles, so I can imagine it might get a Pizza Hut pizza. Did Domino's ever sponsor them either? I don't know if Domino's ever sponsored Ninja Turtles, but I know Pizza Hut had something with them. So that's probably it. You know, it's probably... Has anyone else ever sponsored Ninja Turtles? I've got no idea. Domino's was also the movies, okay. And I'm in a fucking mood for pizza now. All this fucking pizza talk has got me in a mood for fucking pizza, which is annoying.
Take that as you feel, you know, but that's whatever you think that means. But I'm definitely gonna get pizza that's worthy. It's not gonna be fucking Elio's frozen pizza. Let's put it that way. Okay. All right, and then Rebel re-upped his membership for 13 months. He says, it's been a minute. Hope all is well, Big Phil. Well, Rebel, you know, we're going as positively as we can. We're doing as well as we can. Things aren't perfect. And as you can see, members are down for a really stupid reason that I hope will be cleared up, you know, sooner rather than later. It's really dumb what's going on with my channel right now, quite frankly. But it is what it is, right? There's nothing that can really be done about it. But as for content creation and everything, you know, it's dead right now. There's no AAA games, but I'm enjoying what I'm putting out. You guys are here every day supporting, and that's what it's all about. So, doing the best with what you got, right? There you go. Swinging over to the tip side.
Hey, Sid, there you go. We got a bingo finally, guys. We got a fucking bingo. Is this a triple bingo? It is, you know. It's a triple bingo for just where there you go. Horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. So 3 times the bingo. Just like that. Oh, baby, a triple. Just like that. We went from 0 to fucking 3. And is there any other ones that can do that? It's nah, not really. Nah, anything else is going to be like a double, I think, you know, which is still good, or it's a single, depends which one. But fuck it. We're on our way, guys. We're on our fucking way. Here we go. I'm going to rewind it just a wee bit just in case I missed anything. Oops, did not mean to click that. Whoops. This is what I meant to click, sorry. Okay.
All about. So, doing the best of what you got, right? There you go. Swinging over to the tip side of things. All right, we have a $10 tip from Tarantula MS. It's the first tip of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you very much for that, Tarantula. And Tarantula says the following. Hey, I just started Chrono Trigger for the first time. I tried to look at all the different versions of the game, including the PC, Nintendo DS, PlayStation Network, and SNES. I actually ended up choosing an emulated SNES version. I'm currently playing it on the SNES Classic. So, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate what's happened with Chrono Trigger. Because here's the thing. I love Chrono Trigger. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I would probably say top 5 RPGs, along with Final Fantasy 4 and 6, and probably Earthbound, and maybe, like, I don't know, Suikoden or something like that. The problem with Chrono Trigger is it just hasn't had a good history of, like, being available. You know, SNES, then it eventually was ported to the PlayStation 1, which was a very long load time version, I remember. It was kind of inferior. There was a portable version on the DS that added a little bit of extra content, all right? But that was a long time ago. And then since then, there really hasn't been a version at all that's been readily available. If you look at the history, like, well, how else do I play Chrono Trigger? Well, is it currently on the Switch Marketplace? No. Can you buy it as a standalone game anywhere? No. Is it on any digital network? No. Did they put it on the SNES Mini? No.
Apparently it's on Steam. I've got, like, you know, Black Mage's yelling in my chat. It's literally on Steam. And everyone else as well. Steam. Phil can play it on his PC right now probably easily. Just buy it on Steam. But guys, I need money to buy it on Steam. How much is it on Steam? Is it like $20, $30? I can't afford that. I've got to afford to fucking pay for my bills and my day off, my fucking meal, my wife and all that shit. It's also on PS3, what you can still buy in it. So Clyde Dale's saying it's also on PS3. Cringe Zoom incoming says wrong crumpet. Not sure if he's predicting the future or he just, you know, he knows what's going to happen. Who knows? Yeah, look at his fucking face, man. This is a fucking sex doll face. This is what a Phil sex doll looked like for Derek if he wanted to put his dick in something, you know. There we go. That's a sex doll move if ever I saw one. Get that fucking mental image in your head. Phil the sex doll.
Like, wait, what? They didn't put it on anything. It's like, why? It's literally one of the best RPGs ever made, and you're not porting it and selling it? Why not? And the truth is, this summer, I wanted to play it. I actually had a really strong craving to play Chrono Trigger this summer, and when it came around time to determine, gee, what RPG am I going to do, I couldn't really find a viable way to do it, you know? And for as many people that want to say play it on Steam, I've heard that, just like all the other ports, it's not good on PC, and on top of that, I can't play PC games. I've already explained a million times why. So, yeah, that sucks. I wish that there was a viable way to play it on a console and do a playthrough for you guys, and it doesn't seem like there is. I'm not shocked to hear, Tarantula, that you chose to play an emulated version. In fact, 9 years ago when I did my Summer of Retro, I played it emulated on the SNES because that was the most viable way to do it back then. So there you go. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. It's a really great game. You're saying it's your first playthrough. I think you're going to be delighted, especially if you realize there's optional stuff to do and there's multiple endings. What I recommend is play through once, make multiple save files, play it through once, have save files at critical points of the game, enjoy the full game, then go online and look at some facts to figure out other alternate things you could have done. There's actually an alternate, or a very, you wouldn't know it unless you knew how to do it, but there's a character that you can recruit that you never would think could be a party member, that you can recruit as a party member at partway through the game. It's really cool if you get them as a party member, but it's completely optional. And then the alternate endings are quite interesting too. So play through yourself once, and then you might want to reload at certain points to try to get the alternate endings and stuff. Pretty cool. Okay, 1 second here. Oh.
Would you consider just shutting up?
Like, if you want my honest opinion, you want to see a game that I feel they should remake modern, it should be Chrono Trigger. Like, right now, if you were to say to me, Phil, what's the next RPG that should be remade modern? They already did Final Fantasy VII. That was the fan-demanded one. What's the next one? Chrono Trigger. Can you imagine a full 3D world of different time periods, right? And you're actually in the same areas in different time periods, seeing how different they are, but similar landmarks and things, and seeing things evolve over time. You know, oh my god, that could be one of the best games ever if they make it. Seriously, if they make it a modernized game with crazy graphics, they elaborate on the story and have all this extra shit in it. Oh my god, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. But instead, we're gonna remake Final Fantasy VII. You know, split it into 17 games. Anyway, all right, guys. So
I'm counting that as a sigh. It was like a semi-sigh. I fucking breathed in to sigh, you know, shit. I'm counting as a fucking sigh. I don't give a shit. That's a double bingo right there. Also, people want to go 1.25 speed. I agree. So I just got a double bingo sound for you first. There we fucking go. Double bingo. We're on our way again. We are 4 away from a full house. And we're at 1.5 speed. Heather is asking, are we doing 3x3 on Saturday, perhaps? Yeah, because it's probably going to be a shorter podcast on Saturday for his dumbass Ninja Turtle stream. So I'm thinking a 3x3 bingo card on Saturday.
Oh, thank you, Tarantula, for the tip. We still have a little bit of extra time if anyone has any questions. You'd like to toss my way for a little bit of mini Q&A, I guess we could say here, at the end of the stream. Erlin says, I was listening to Rekita. I don't know if it's Rekieta or Rekita show. I don't know how to say his last name. He was talking with Josh Moon. They had a lot of positive things to say about you, especially with how you handled the bankruptcy and drama around it. Yeah, I don't think that guy's a negative guy. I think he kind of got caught up with all the shit on the internet 2.5 years ago about my bankruptcy because of my haters and detractors talking about it. But since then, you know, I've had a few conversations with Nick, and he seems like a nice guy. And you know, basically we're on good terms. If ever we ever want to talk with each other or you know anything further, we don't. I don't hate him. He doesn't hate me. And you haven't noticed he doesn't make a bunch of hateful content about me, unlike a lot of other people. Okay, seems like a nice guy. Expand Donk said it feels weird to say yes and no in response to Call of Duty being a giant AAA game. What are your standards for AAA? Seems like nothing but God of War is Gotham Knights AAA or Hogwarts. Yeah, they are. They are. Here, looking at the games for the rest of the year, I would say Overwatch 2 is AAA. Gotham Knights is AAA. Resident Evil 8 DLC, definitely. Sonic Frontiers. God of War. Pokemon. You know, I'm going to say Callisto Protocol. People are going to give me shit for it, but it's the same people who made Dead Space, so that to me is a AAA game. And Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. Those are the games for the rest of the year that I would be considering AAA big releases. There you go. Was I ever good at book reports in school? Yes. Favorite chocolates? I don't have favorites. Chocolate in general. I'm just a chocoholic. Any kind of chocolate, man. I'm crazy for it. Okay. Could we be heading for another games crash similar to the 80s? I mean, crash, no. But a change in the guard, yeah. I think we've seen in recent years the big AAA guys aren't necessarily the ones who are successful anymore. Let's be honest. The big AAA guys are pumping out games that are too similar to the games they've already made in the past and don't take risks, and the gamers are tired of that shit. Look what happened with Call of Duty last year, right? On the flip side, it's these indie devs who are coming out with games that just become virally popular because they're simply played on some big person's stream, and they end up becoming millionaires. So it's kind of an interesting time where it's not just the big boys anymore who can compete, and a lot of the times the big boys, because they make bad management decisions, end up flopping. Rudy is hyped for Destroy All Humans 2. I hope it's good. We're going to find out. I never played a game full throttle. Nope. What are some of the things Street Fighter 6 is doing Street Fighter 5 got wrong? Multiple fighting styles. And what I mean by that is it has this meter. And forgive me because I knew what it was 2 months ago or whatever. I already forgot the name of it. There's a meter that can be used in many different ways. It can be used as a parry. It can be used as a cancel. It can be used as an alpha counter. And I say alpha counter, what it means is you block and you break out of your block with a counterattack. It was called an alpha counter the first time it was ever implemented in Street Fighter Alpha. That's why I still call it that. But basically that meter, drive gauge, is that what it's called? Okay. It can be used to make your gameplay style different. You can play the game differently depending on how you like, or on any time during the gameplay you can do something different on the fly. Street Fighter 5 is like you pick a character, you play a pattern. That's it. That's the game. Right? It's very rare where you would see even top-level players play a character built different. They're almost all identical gameplay because it's meant to be a pattern play game. In this game, it seems like you will have a lot of control over how you play. That's why I like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Take a look at how people play with certain characters, and you'll see a big variety in the way that they're played. Some people have a more offensive Ryu. Some have a more defensive stay away, keep away Ryu. Some have a hybrid. Some use the road trick. That's what I want to see. Variety in the gameplay, making you think on the fly. That's true competitive fighting games. Not play my pattern in molasses, play my pattern in slow-mo, play my pattern online, it lags. That's bullshit. It's not even a fucking competitive game at all. That was the majority of Street Fighter 5. And that's why I don't understand why people didn't get the difference. How can you not understand? Because they grew up in it. It would be like if you grew up playing shit, you don't know anything but shit. So you think shit is good. You didn't play the good stuff before, so you don't understand why you're surrounded by shit, right? If you get something better, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe how good this is. And that's what I'm hoping Street Fighter 6 will do. Introduce variety, introduce different uniqueness and playstyles and originality and creativity to the game again. That's what we need to see. There we go. Aaron, thank you so much for a whopping $50 tip. Aaron says the following. Sorry you've been going through so much BS lately, Phil. I don't get to catch your streams as much. I would like to, but I've been a fan for almost a decade. I'll continue to be, and I hope this helps you get your head up, Phil. Thank you. Aaron, you know, support always, of course, is going to help. I appreciate you helping out today and supporting the streams with a very generous tip. And that's going to get us to $60 in tips to start, which is an excellent way to start before we even booted the game. And of course, that means Gunner Glasses, although I'm going to take a short break here. Not a long break today, but just a very short break before we start with the game. Cool. Oh yeah, Expand Dong says, Destroy All Humans 2 has a lot of raunchy humor, and they didn't really censor it or do much about it, but they put a big disclaimer at the beginning of the game. What do you think? Here's the thing. These games, as I played them, I never played Destroy All Humans. This is an era of gaming where that was like the norm. This was...
I'm going to interrupt this because Kevin Majorca wants me to say something, and I guess apparently it's a quote from Star Trek 4, and he wants me to just fucking say this. I have to say, Admiral, there be whales here. There be whales. Is that good enough, Kevin Majorca? Are you satisfied with me saying that random Star Trek 4 quote? Is that good enough? Is that spot on? Admiral, there be whales here. There be whales. I've never fucking seen it. I assume. I've got no idea what the guys might fucking sound like. I've got no idea what the fucking reference is. I assume they're talking about actual fucking whales and space. Isn't Star Trek in fucking space? What the fuck's whales? I'm more confused than anything else, but fuck it, I said what you wanted to fucking say. Snood wants me to say, she can't take no more, Captain. Alright, okay, there you go. I actually said it better than how you typed it as Captain, but I just fucking went straight to the fucking accent, so fuck it. Scotty from Star Trek is not Scottish, she's fucking Canadian. I don't want fucking people to say Scotty from Star Trek is not fucking Scottish. He's Canadian, just like fucking Roddy Piper was. Just like fucking the Highlanders were, the fucking wrestling tag team, they were fucking Canadian all. There's only been like, it's nice, that's what I'm saying, Drew McIntyre in the wrestling is actually the first genuine Scotsman there's been in the fucking wrestling in a long fucking time, if ever. You know, it's fucking funny, it's like they're trying to fucking pass off these random Canadians as Scottish in the past. It's like, what the fuck? Roddy Piper puts on a kilt and he's like, yeah, I might be like, you know, 1/8 Scottish, I don't know. I don't know how fucking Scottish Roddy Piper was, but he was fucking Canadian. And so is Scotty from Star Trek. He wasn't fucking Scottish.
Like expected almost, you know, I would say second half of the 90s, right, into the early 2000s, where it was like everything has to have sexualized humor, everything has to have extreme gore, right? This was the thing. I mean, think about the whole fighting games. We were just talking about the history of fighting games and Street Fighter, very kind of PC, and then Mortal Kombat comes out. Oh, it's got to have half naked women. It's got to have people ripping arms off and shoving them up your nose holes and gore everywhere. That's how it was. It was like you had to go extreme during this time frame, right? And so I wouldn't be surprised that if we play this game that there's going to be that type of humor, all right? But we can look at it as a frame of reference from the time that it existed and understand what it is and say it may not fly today. You probably wouldn't buy Destroy All Humans, I don't know, whatever it would be today. They probably wouldn't even number it. They probably just call it like Destroy All Humans Again or something, right? And make a new one. But they certainly wouldn't have as much in it today. But we can look at it and say, okay, we understand this is from a previous time. This is not today. Today we know this kind of stuff isn't popular, doesn't fly, but we know what we're doing here because this is a game from the past. And we can look at it maturely and you snicker and say, oh my god, cringe. Basically what I do is I cringe, right? You cringe at like, I can't believe this is in here. Right? But, and then you get through it, you play the game, you enjoy it for what it is. That's how I approach it, you know? Since this is supposed to be an homage essentially to the old game, it probably would be I would think if you were a major fan of the original game and they came out with a version, they said, we're just censoring it all, right? You'd probably be offended and be like, dude, this is not the spirit of the original. You basically neutered the game from what it used to be. Even if you can argue that it's kind of stupid. Like, for example, what if you went to play Silent Hill 2 and they completely changed the story so that the bosses that are all psychological horror, like remember there's an entire boss, it's a deformed creature, you have no idea what it is. Come to find out later on, it's supposed to be a bed on which a girl was raped by her father. I'm not kidding, that's a boss in the game. You don't know this until you read logs and shit and you talk to the girl later. You're like, oh, fuck. That's what that represented. That's really dark and fucked up and it rocks your mind. Now imagine in 2022 they said, we're remaking Silent Hill 2, but that's
Hold on. What's your mind?
You read logs and shit and you talk to the girl later. You're like, oh, fuck. That's what that represented. That's really dark and fucked up and it rocks your mind.
Rocks your mind. I was so fucking confused, I had no idea what the fuck he said there. It rocks your mind, but I just butchered the fucking word rocks. Hey, fantastic, Mr. Sam, how you doing? I was so fucking confused when I fucking said it first, man. I was like, what the fuck did this clown just say? Rocks your mind.
Now imagine in 2022 they said, we're remaking Silent Hill 2, but that's too dark, we can't have that. Instead it's going to be a generic monster with arms, you rip off the arms or something, right? it wouldn't have the same effect. So, and by the way, I understand that that's a different comparison to a silly game here, which probably has stupid, sexualized, and gore and stuff. It's different. I get it. But you understand the comparison I'm making? To change the spirit of what the game originally was, then would make this a different game rather than an homage or remake of the same game. So then I think they wouldn't have to call it. It wouldn't be like, it would have to be like Destroy All Humans 2 redone or something. They'd have to rechange it, right? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what they've done. I haven't played it yet, so I can't really comment on it yet. And by the way, I never played the original anyway, so I actually don't even have a frame of reference there either. This is my first time playing it, so. They did? Is that for real? Alan says, I remember things got so over the top in the 2000s, they released a Dave Mirra BMX game where there were topless women riding the bikes.
I remember that. I never played it, but I remember the kind of, the kind of backlash it had. This is actually not far away from the time where Manhunt was getting released by... Who was behind Manhunt again? I'm tempted to say it's fucking Rockstar. You know, the kind of game where you have to kill people and all that shit. It's like you kill people with some kind of plastic, like a shopping bag or something. You put some plastic bag over someone's head and kill them. I think it was about the same time that kind of Manhunt game was out as well. Yeah, Rockstar made that, yeah. But I BMX Triple X as well. Was it Bar Major or something? I don't know. that was kind of not long around. I think it's similar time. Not exact same time, I think. Yeah, he's. I remember the kind of controversy that caused, and people were fucking losing their damn minds about it. I'm almost tempted to say it also was kind of not far away from the time San Andreas came out, and the hot coffee controversy kind of was a thing. Tempted to say that as well. But that's just me. I'm not entirely sure if it was. But yeah, these are dark times. People are fucking coming after our video games for this sexualized content in them. The games weren't meant to be for children anyway. But despite all that, the fucking people wanted them banned and all that shit. I was like, well, don't fucking let your children play them then. It's a fucking 18 rated game. I remember. Is this going to fucking stick with me? This fucking memory of mine, right? When Grand Theft Auto 5 first came out, I bought it for PlayStation 4. I bought it for myself. As I was an adult, I could do that, So I fucking went down to my local shopping centre, went to the game shop, and there was a massive fucking queue. Now, I wasn't... So, it's like I wasn't working that day, I think, or something. Or either that, I was in between jobs, but I saved that money. Bottom line is, people were in school. Kids were in school, right? Kids were in school. And I see a bunch of fucking middle-aged women in front of me in the queue trying to buy Grand Theft Auto 5. And you kind of think to yourself, why is there so many fucking middle-aged women in the shop here? And of course, every single one of them was like, I'm fucking buying this game for my kid. Then my kid wanted me to get this game for them today because it's apparently popular.
Yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Barrett Wells, for Super Chat. It says, Phil won't comment on games he hasn't played, but Cult of Lamb is just a viral game, even though I haven't played it. Yeah, he's got a fucking opinion about Cult of Lamb. People had the idea that he's fucking terrified of playing Cult of Lamb because he himself is accused of running a cult where the way he fucking treats his fans and runs his fucking business and shit. And that may be why he's actually actively avoiding Cult of Lamb. And the more I think about it, the more I like the theory. I actually quite like the theory that he's avoiding Cult of Lamb simply because he himself has been accused of acting like a cult leader, and that just fucking resonates and sticks with him. Bill, the cult leader Burnell. But yeah, I still can't fucking get over the fucking memory of me. I just wanted to fucking go into the shop and buy myself Grand Theft Auto 5 and enjoy it. And like, it's a whole bunch of fucking middle-aged women buying it for their kids, ignoring the 18 age rating. And the fucking guy, also, the people in the fucking shop selling the game, obviously they fucking know these middle-aged women probably aren't going to fucking play this game. What the fuck? They're actually actively asking. This is for my, I was like, is this the right game? Excuse me, sonny, behind the fucking guy fucking selling the game. Is this the right game? My son wanted me to get the new, the Grand Theft Auto game. Is this the right one for him? And I was like, yeah, probably. Is like, do you know what console he's got? I think he's got one of the new PlayStations. He's okay. This is the Xbox one. You want the other one. You want the one that says PS4 in it. It's okay. I'll get this. So sorry about that, son. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, fucking parents don't usually fucking care about the age ratings in game, and yet they'll fucking care if there's any fucking titties in those games. Fucking God help you if there's fucking titties fucking exposed, these fucking pixel titties in video games. That'll fucking get them all riled up. But Jesus Christ, man, the fucking games are fucking age restricted for a fucking reason, just like video, like in movies and TV shows and all that shit. There's fucking age ratings on this shit, and a lot of things can pass off there as being fair game. But people always have fucking mind about titties on screen during a biking game, for fuck's sake. Snood's saying he's refusing to play Cult of Lamb because he can't do the Twitch integration. I didn't even realise I had Twitch integration on it. Sounds pretty cool. Bad Luck says, in my playthrough of Cult of Lamb, I unlocked the ability to solicit money out of my followers so people would definitely see the similarities. That is fucking beautiful, Bad Luck. That is fucking beautiful.
You've got to be kidding me. That I actually don't believe. I don't believe that. That's ridiculous. If that's the case, what the fuck, dude? Now that's cringe. Anyway. Dad, you're serious. It was called BMX Triple X. Oh my god, these fucking people are so stupid and immature. Oh my god. Alright, on that note, I think it's time to end the Level 1 podcast for today, shall we? Oh, good lord. Alright, guys. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my personal history with Street Fighter. Happy 35th anniversary to Street Fighter. And we can only hope for the best for Street Fighter 6, right? Thank you, guys, and let's end the show and get started. Oh my god.
Okay, and I'm going to skip his dumbass outro because it's a dumbass outro and I don't care about it.
Alright, guys. Let's take a brief break. I actually do not have to take a significantly long break today. Just a very short one. Take a leak and jump right back into our new release for today. I'm trying to remember how the last one ended, because wasn't it that I forgot the alien's name? Didn't he revolt against the aliens he came to the planet with? Like they were being dicks or whatever, and he revolted against them. So I think he like defended the planet or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it ended. So I'm wondering, is he still destroying all the humans in this one? Is he defending Earth in this one? I can't remember. Anyway, let's take a brief break, just a couple minutes, all right? And we'll be back with the premiere of Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Sound good? All right, thanks guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, and we'll just also fast forward past this bit. Shut the fuck up, your shitey music. I like how Meerkat's music also had Phil saying shut the fuck up at the same time. That's quite coincidental, I must say. Let me just fast forward here. Is he back yet?
Oh my god, hold on. Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you guys are ready. Oh my god, hold on. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Because I sit down to play a game, immediately a raucous, gaseous belch erupts out of me. Nothing I can do about it to prevent it. Unbelievable. Alright, so everyone, welcome back. It looks like I did receive another tip. Wow, thank you to Ugly Sonic for a $5 tip during the break. It says, big ups, Phil, can't wait for the playthrough. I actually love this game as a kid. When did this come out? Anyone know what year this game came out? I have no idea. I did play the first one 2 years ago when that one was remade, and I enjoyed it. So I'm curious, you know, how dated the game is and everything. Okay. Here we go again, everyone. Same old alien shit, just a different day, as they say. He's back. He's back and more pertinent than ever, Mr. Crypto, right? As we know, cryptocurrency...
That's loud as shit.
Sadly, has not done so well recently in the last year, because of major issues. However, this was crypto before... Oh.
What the hell kind of home screen is this? Well, this is interesting. Phil's reaction to this, man. Let's rewind. Hang on, let's get a wee quick rewind here.
Sadly, has not done so well recently in the last year, because of major issues. However, this was crypto before... Oh. I did not need to see Review Tech USA on my screen before we played the game.
I knew it. I knew he was going to fucking make an RT reference. We all fucking saw that coming. We all saw that fucking coming a mile away. Jesus Christ, that guy lives rent-free in his head. Apparently, for somebody that's meant to be fucking dead to him and he won't fucking bring him up anymore, Bill seems to fucking bring him up a whole fucking lot. It's quite a lot of times. Bill keeps fucking bringing him up. It's so random. It's almost like Phil wants RTU to keep fucking talking about him, just so Phil has a reason to keep talking about him.
Why? Why? Anyway. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Oh boy. So for the record, I'm playing this on the Xbox Series X, alright? I'm playing this as the modern version. I've never played the original, alright? The only exposure to the series I have is I played the original Destroy All Humans remake 2 years ago when it came out in 2020. Apparently that one did so well that they decided to make the sequel remake now, okay? So you look here. Subtitles on. Okay, they're on by default. Oh, legal streaming music only? On. So maybe the game will be silent now. It could be. Alright. I guess we'll do veteran, because recruit. See, times are tough, you can take it. Yeah, we'll do veteran. It's probably normal. Alright. Humans of planet Earth be advised, while the visual experience has been upgraded, the content and historical record of the original invasion of the Furons remains a near identical clone. The Furon linguistic and cultural experience remains unaltered. The story words, I couldn't even read it. I guess what they're basically saying is it could be found offensive, some of the things they're saying, maybe some of the insults, maybe some of the sexualized humor, maybe some of the gore. I don't know. I didn't play the original. But what they're saying is they didn't change the content, they just upgraded the visuals. Okay. Achievement! Rock of the Bay. Invade Bay City, yes!
Thank you for coming. Here's what we know so far.
I have a feeling that he's already recording for YouTube. I think that's it, guys. I think that may be the end of Bingo, because there's no way we're fucking leaving this out, you know, and just, because it's like fucking start again, the first fucking cutscene in the game. So, we got 21 out of 25, guys. He didn't do hand graphs, didn't do behind the scenes, didn't say behind the scenes, didn't say Twitter, didn't say absolutely positively. It's a shame. Catch you later, kid fun. In fact, it's the end of the stream anyway, so I think most people are starting to bounce anyway. We had 38 snorts, by the way. That is the highest I have recorded so far. In the few days I started doing this, we had 38 snorts that I counted. There might have been more, but that's how many I caught. That is an abnormal amount of snortage going on. Because the last couple of days, he's actually quiet. You know, the snorts calmed down after the first 15 or 20 at most. It started calming down. Not today. Today it was just non-stop snortage. Snortamania is running wild. Whatever you want to fucking call it, man. But it was going ham on the snorts today, man. Non-stop. But let's click on live and see where Phil is.
Where's it going at?
$66. Okay. So, that's the end of Bingo anyway, guys. You know, we got 21 out of 25. Sadly not a full house, but what can you do? You know, nothing I can do. Bugged by Bingo mechanics, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to end things how I always end things. I'm going to end things the only one true way I can end a stream of Bingo. We go with Pixar animations, and we're going to enjoy some notorious PIG contributions. Or just silence Meerkat's excellent music just so we can fully enjoy the outro to the stream. But guys, thank you very much for joining me for some DSP Bingo. I do appreciate everyone coming along, and whatever you're fucking contributing in the chat, keep me writing the bingo card to make sure the things I miss in case I missed a couple of things and you guys kept me writing chat. I would appreciate that. And for people as well, subscribe to the channel and super chatted and even tipped as well. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But I'll catch you all tomorrow for some more DSP Bingo, and hopefully tomorrow will be a day we get 25 out of 25. It'd be nice if we get another full house or fill house, or you want to call it. Just, you know, right before, you know, we're overdue one, you know. We've had one and only one so far. We're due a second one, you know, so hopefully tomorrow will be a day we get that. Hope you guys fancy joining me for that. But until then, enjoy some contributions. And yeah, catch you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Peace out.
On September 14th, a pre-authorized payment of $16.51 from PayPal.
All right, Luna Mills has tipped me $1.30. It says, I'm back. What's your favorite type of shower? When you're showered in money. When you go outside and all of a sudden greenbacks start falling from the sky and you raise your face up, you're like, oh, you start dancing, you go, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. All right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but thank you for the first tip of the day.
Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah.
These contributions are mandatory.
Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah.
These contributions are mandatory. gone, just gone like that in an instant, fucking gone.